mainstays. Look, we got Dante Bryan in the building with the $5 super chat. Thank you, good brother. Brother Double M and Brother GMT. Peace and blessings to you. Man, thank you for being early. I know you ready to go, brother. Let's see here. We got AMSM in the building, a man supporting men. With the $5 super chat said, Meaty Man, because of you, I stopped putting so much money in my so much honey in my hot tea. Gotta be strong to drink sweet hot tea, bittersweet hot tea. I told you, you looked at the back of that honey, right? It's a lot of carbs in there. See, I do give out some information here and there. We got Tristan Smith in the building with the 1999 super chat. Man, drop the bomb on you, boy. Let's see here. It's been forever since I caught one of your lives. The last one I listened to, you were at around 2,000 subscribers. Congrats to all your hard work. Shout out to my fellow vets and service members currently serving. Thank you, good brother. Hoo-wah. That's what I'm talking about, man. Good to see you back here, Tristan, man. And we got D320KG with the 199 super chat. Said men aren't approaching women anymore. Topic for show. Oh, man. You already get to it, ain't you, brother? Well, we get to everything, man. I got you, brother. This dude. Leon B1, what's going on with $20 super chat? He said, thank you for the invite. I'm extremely excited for the show. Oh, yeah, man. Oh, yeah. It's going to be great. I promise you. And then we got R2D1, just simply stopping by, dropping a $20 bill on the ground for your boy. Greatly appreciated. Thank you, good brother. Enjoy the show, man. I promise you guys will definitely enjoy. Let's see here. Let me see. Did I get everybody's super chat? Yep. Let me make sure. Oh, one more. My bad. We got Young Boy 13 with the $10 super chat. Said, looking forward to a good show, Meaty Man. I'm listening in while I'm at the gym. Salute to you and the team, man. Hopefully everything is going well with you over there in Korea, man. I know you getting to it, man. Have a good workout, and hopefully you learn something from this live stream. I know you're doing big things over there. I'm proud of you, man. Serving the country as you do, as an officer, mind you. I'm very proud of you, brother. If nobody sold you that, I want to tell you that right now, man. You know how I feel about the military, so thank you, brother. I appreciate the support. Let's see here. And we got everything good to go. Cool. All right. So I'm going to bring them up one by one so they can introduce themselves. And the man that put all this together, we got grown men talking in the building. What's going on, good brother? Thank you.
What's good, man? Thank you. Thank you. What's good?
You got the assets, brother. You know what I'm saying? You got everybody on the panel. I greatly appreciate it. I love what you're doing over there, man. I told you that multiple times, but just to, publicly say it, man, I greatly appreciate you lending me a hand in this live stream. We couldn't have done it without you and your, contributions. Thank you, brother. Appreciate it.
I appreciate you, man, for all you do, all the information that you give, the knowledge. It's needed in our community. It's needed in this world, man, because not too many brothers are like you out here that's giving facts. It's a lot of opinions, but not facts. So
yeah, man. I'm trying to do my thing, trying to make sure I make a dent in these spaces, so to speak. But yeah, man, I want to give you the floor. Shout out anything you need to shout out, man. What you got going on? Any merch? Cash apps, whatever. You got it. You got the floor, brother. Matter of fact, let me go ahead and let you go.
Well, my Cash App is in my description. But if anything, GMT, just come follow everything we got going on. We got a lot of moving parts to my channel right now. On Tuesdays, we have our Grown Woman Talking Show, where it's me giving off the male perspective and a panel full of women in that show. It's rough, but it's a good show because nonetheless, the ladies do get to understand the male perspective as well. Another thing we got going on is Sundays, our open conversation, which is dope. And that's at 4 p.m. every Sunday. And then also every Friday, we have Grown Men Trash Talking. We do that at 1:30, where it's just me. I'll bring people up and we'll just review any craziness that's happening throughout the week on the internet. So other than that, I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to be with Media Man. I'm happy to be a part of his growing channel, to meet everyone that's in the chat. You guys are great. I've been in the chat with y'all plenty of times. Let's keep growing, y'all. Let's keep growing.
Hey man, I appreciate it, man. That was amazing, brother. Thank you, man, for shouting out everything. And I'm gonna definitely have to tune into the other live streams that you do, man. That sounds very interesting. You know, I'm gonna be in the chat, man, listening. So greatly appreciate the content, man. So without further ado, friend of the show and one of our featured guests, let me go ahead and bring up more real talk in the building. What's going on? How you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. How's everyone else doing?
Oh, I'm good. Everything is good, man. The chat is definitely looking forward to your presence as always.
Yes. Yes, I'm excited to be here. Just a little nervous. But thank you for having me. You know, it's great to be here as well as being a part of Grown Men Talking's movement. It's a lot of things I've taken upon myself to try to fix up in my own life as far as, you know, what I should be doing, the shoulds. What I should be doing as a young lady. So I'll have a series coming out that I'm working on about manipulation. So I don't have a specific date, but I want to really like dive in there and kind of help people understand the different forms of manipulation and how you can overcome that, because it's so much out there. I learned some stuff. I'm like, wow, I didn't even know I was manipulated. I didn't even know I was manipulated. So yes, it'll be amazing.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely gonna tune in for that. I know a little bit about manipulation, but anyway, it ain't about me. But you got anything you want to shout out real quick?
Shout out to you guys. Shout out to Media Man. Shout out to Grown Men Talking. I'm excited for today, so let's get it going.
Oh man, I'm excited. Thank you. And without further ado, let me bring up the man with the master plan, Professor in the building. What's going on, good brother? How you?
Hey man, I'm good, man. I appreciate you guys for having me on again. I appreciate Media Man, and I appreciate GMT for having me on again.
Oh man, the picture looks perfect, man. Your sound is good. I greatly appreciate you accepting the invite, man. I'm definitely gonna need y'all boys here so we can review these questions. Let's just say that much. I think the ladies did a good job of putting together their list. I was able to compartmentalize all three and put them in a way to where everybody can get a chance. So I know, Professor, you're going to definitely cook on some of these conversations. I promise you that.
Just a couple. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And then I also have my own channel, The Distinguished Professors, on YouTube. I also have my Instagram as well. So definitely check it out. I'm putting out content at least 2 or 3 times a week. So definitely go check it out. Oh,
yeah, definitely. I greatly appreciate it, brother. Blessings to you. And without further ado, let me go ahead and bring up Just Justified. How you feeling today?
Hey, I am good. How you doing?
Oh, I'm doing very well. And again, thank you for accepting the invitation. I greatly appreciate it. As always, thank you.
No problem. Glad to be here.
Oh, yeah. What scent is that candle up there? What is that? Is it
Sheer jasmine?
I haven't heard that. All I know is the mahoganies and the vanillas. So,
but the vanillas, you can't go wrong with the vanillas.
Yeah,
I don't do vanillas.
That always smells good. But you got anything to shout out before we get started?
Well, I do. Definitely my channel, Mind Your Mind with Just Justified. If you're a psych, anthropology, or sociology enthusiast, that's your place. I definitely try to dive into different topics from that realm. So that's definitely something that I'm into.
Oh, okay, cool. I'm definitely going to have to check out more of your content. I did browse a little bit of everybody's content prior to doing the show. So, yeah, I'm definitely going to get in tune and tune a little bit more. Do you go live, on a weekly basis?
Not yet.
Not yet? Okay.
Yeah. I'm actually very new, like 3 months, 4 months in. So I'm getting my leg, dipping it in the water, just a little touch. I'm coming.
Hopefully this live stream can help you, increase the followership so you can get monetized. That's always the purpose. It's enough money out here for everybody. So everybody gonna eat. So
Right.
Let's see here. And we got the man. That's a man. I think I may get his brother the whole screen with that background that he got going on. My man, I'm so chill. What's going on, man? Hold on, brother. Hold on, man. Wait.
Whoa!
Hold on. Hold on, let me. Hold on. We gotta say this. I will let this brother cook, man. Hey, that is cold, man.
I'm working on some stuff, man. I got the studio lights, the studio lamps. I got to be honest, man. It's y'all who kind of put me into this. Like, I want to take this serious. I enjoy coming up on people's platform and sharing my opinions on things. And ladies, my opinions only. That's what I'm saying. Just opinions. That's it.
Hey, was that your disclaimer prior to the show?
Yeah, I had to unbutton my shirt and everything just in case.
Hey, I appreciate it, man. Thank you, brother. I definitely appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? that background is cold, man. That's nice.
Thank you. I'm still a rough draft. There's some ideas that I have, and I want to incorporate my man GMT in it, man. I spoke to him today about the ideas I have for my background and what I'm going to do. So,
okay.
Everybody stay tuned. Where you can find me is on Grown Man Talking. That's where I'm at. I'm exclusively stuck to that brother's hip. All right. And I'm there.
Yeah, man, I appreciate it. If you guys haven't watched the Grown Man Talking channel, you just got to tune in for I'm So Chill. There's a couple times where it's going to be a huge gasp let out. You know what I'm saying?
Major gasp.
Major.
You ain't even got to be watching the screen. You just know where the information came from, and you know why people got up in arms a little bit. But
yes.
Say.
Oh man, thank you, brother. I appreciate it. And we still got 2 more members. We're gonna wait till they get on screen and ready to go. But while we wait, and before we get to it, let me get to this. Oh, wait. Oh, the ladies in it popped up when I said so. Let me go ahead and get Mona in here. Hold on real quick. Let me see. And we got Mona in the building, my head moderator. It's good to see her beautiful face. I know she take care of the family. Thank you, Mona. I appreciate you coming on the stream.
Thank you for having me. I don't know how I'm going to follow up behind I'm So Chill with that background. I'm over here just white walling his mic, y'all, so bear with me. Thank you for having me and including me with this amazing panel of folks that I know are going to really bring it today.
Yeah.
So thank you.
Yeah, you guys are definitely going to enjoy this. I put a lot of work into this. Man, if y'all don't know, I work for the government, so I have to do this alongside of my full-time job. And so it took a while. So I definitely put in work so you guys can hopefully understand the process and what we're trying to do on this show. And in the Black community as a whole, I'm neither for or against marriage. People gonna walk their own path. It is what it is. But I just want to make sure you're happy in the process. So it's gonna be a great show. So thank you again to everybody. And our final member. And she was requested by Grown Men Talking. We got Ash in the building. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you. Thank you for allowing me to be here. I don't have much to shout out. I just have Instagram, Ashley on Ice, so you guys can go there.
Okay, cool. Make sure you put it in the chat. And so
but
I heard from Grown Men.
We're going to get her going, though.
Yeah.
We're going to get her going.
I heard that you're in the military.
I am. I'm in the Navy.
Hey, that's what I'm talking about, man. I mean, it's not the Air Force, but I'll take it. Yeah, I've done some amazing work in my, career with the Navy. So yeah, I greatly appreciate it. Thank you for your service. Appreciate it. And I'm gonna make sure that you don't get fired on your day off. Okay. So let me see here. Oh man, we got super chats galore coming in. These brothers. So if y'all don't know, let me just give y'all some game. I do consults on a weekly basis, right? And I probably average about 5. And I'm gonna just tell y'all right now, we have 2 surgeons in the chat right now. We also have a lawyer in the chat. I see, let me see, who is this there? Hold on. I got a Cash App for $200 from JP. He actually works at one of the biggest consulting firms in New York.
Wow. So
these brothers, some heavy hitters here. So shout out to you, brother. I just wanted to put that out there. These brothers got a little bit of bread, so they don't mind spending. Let me see here. Hold on, who we got? Where did I leave off? I think we got AMSM with the $5 super chat. He said, I didn't know the age increase for the military. I'm 39. I applied for the Air Force Reserves. The cutoff age is 42 now. Yeah, man. Yeah, you can definitely get in there. They always need somebody for the reserves. Just make sure everything good to go, and you should be good, man. Hit me up if you need any advice. I got a couple people that's in the reserves right now. So thank you, man. Let's see here. We got Blockchain with the $49.99 super chat. My guy, and that's GMT's guy. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Blockchain. Shout out to Media Men and the whole crew. What's going on, man? This brother, man, you trying to spend money, man. JT Coin Rings. Now it's a show. If you guys don't know, JT has his own business. He does like these coin rings. He actually sent me a couple of them. I love him so much, man. Thank you. And every time JT is in the chat, we can actually get the show started. It's official now because JT is here, man, with the $1.99 super chat. He said, good dude, man. Very, very good stand-up brother, man. Thank you. And again, look, Blockchain. Look. He trying to stunt on us, man. You know what I'm
oh my gosh, Blockchain.
Trying to stunt. That's what you're trying to do. Blockchain with the $99.99. This is 100 super chat for the super content. GMT is the GOAT. Man, that boy, he's spending, ain't he?
Yeah.
My God, man.
Let's go.
Oh man, let me see. And we got Sean Stiff in the building with the $9.99 super chat. Said this is about to be fire. Man, I promise you, it is going to be amazing. So let me give y'all, and I'm gonna just go ahead and brief the chat on the rundown of the show. So typically when we do the polls, I'll wait until we get done with everything. We'll do the questions and then we'll have a conversation. But for this show, while we're going, I guess transitioning into every topic, I'm going to open up the poll so you guys can have, free reign to vote while we speak on whatever is being presented. So this is going to help get a better, reach of how many people vote. And you guys can listen to the back and forth arguments or, discussions, and you can maybe be able to change your opinion on whatever we're talking about. So it's going to be a great show. What I did want to say, I wanted to acknowledge the ladies. Thank you guys. Thank you all for bringing in the list. I was able to put it together. It was very easy. It was succinct. You guys got it to me in time to where I could, put my little spin on it to make sure that we can get this, going and make sure it's, smooth. So again, ladies, thank you for putting together the list. It's definitely going to help moving forward. So, and I'm pretty sure that the guys are going to enjoy this. So.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, let me see here. So, shoot, we can get started. If I didn't miss, wait, we got something. Okay, cool. Okay, we can definitely get started. So the first one that I want to bring up, let me show y'all real quick. And I'm gonna show y'all what I did for the show. All right, we're gonna start at the top. Bam. All right, so you're going to see it separated from quantifiable to opinion-based to needs more explanation. So we're going to start the show off with the quantifiable information, and then we'll go on to the opinion-based, and then we'll go to needs more explanation from the questions that I got. So the first one that we're going to start from the top. So again, we did the same thing for Black men, so we want to do the same thing for Black women. And the way that I worded this is, should Black men expect Black women to earn an annual income of $60,944 for women ages 35 to 44? And the reason why I put that specific number for the income is this. Should Black men expect Black women to earn an annual income of $60,944 for women aged 35 to 44? According to MarketWatch guides, these are the average salaries by gender. Looking at the same BLS data set from the previous section, you can slice the data based on gender. It shows that even in the modern age, the gender pay gap remains an issue. For women ages 35 to 44, the median annual income is $60,944. This chart shows that women starting out in the workforce initially make close to their male counterparts. However, as they age, they go from 80 to 85%. All right. So did y'all enjoy that little
Yeah.
statistical dump right there? So so that's what I was working on while we were taking the time to get the show prepared. So yes, I have one for all the quantifiable, for most of the quantifiable, except the next one. So does everybody understand? The question: should black women earn this amount of money? Is that pretty straightforward? And
Yep.
the reason why I'm asking it like that is because we always talk about people should be earning, let's say, $100,000 a year. But when you start looking at the statistics, you'll see that it's, the average income for all races is much lower than that. So we want quantifiable, tangible numbers that we can kind of reach and put some type of stipulations on the age groups of 35 to 44. This is where most people make most of their income, right? So there are certain things that you should expect from a man and a woman between this particular age group. So that's why we're targeting them. So I'm going to go ahead and start the poll, and I'm going to let GMT cook, and then we're going to go to the ladies, and then I got the gentlemen shortly after. So what's your thoughts on that, GMT?
So for me, I feel as if a woman at that between those ages, it really depends on what her purpose is. If she's looking to be married, right, then if you're entering a marriage, it's good to bring that into the table. Just to say, okay, husband, this is what I bring to you. But a single woman, definitely, she needs to at least be making that to sustain herself in this day and age.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty, I guess it's reachable, for a woman that's, moving and shaking, because we hear it all the time. A lot of women making money. So, hey, 60,000, that shouldn't be,
It shouldn't be too hard. Right. Yeah. I agree.
I agree too. So, MRT, what you think?
Sorry. I believe it's something that's tangible for her to reach, especially if she is single. But I think it also would factor in like what her career path is, what she chose to, do for work. I think that plays a factor in what they would be making around that time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I definitely agree. And I think that sweet spot at 35 to 44 is actually good, because people are getting married at later ages. If you guys don't know, 33 for black men, 32 for black women. So that's the average age that we're having our first weddings. So, I mean, it's kind of feasible that we need to have things together and make it some. And that was we're going to get to one of those questions, but you guys had some great insight on that list. So we covered everything. So thank you. So we're going to go to Justified. Is that a tangible number? What you think?
I think it's tangible. Definitely. But definitely I feel like even when you're married or single, because odds are, if anything, and you're married, the man is usually making that same or even higher. So y'all gonna have a dope life. So
I agree.
So
I mean, you combine those incomes. I can't wait till we get to the meat of these conversations. Pause. I know I gotta say that for the young guys.
Oh my gosh.
I just learned that. Y'all remember, I just learned pause. So I gotta say that because I say some stuff and they be like, media man, hold on. Like, hey, hold on.
Now it's no Diddy also.
Okay, that too.
Yeah,
so,
no Diddy.
I've been corrected by some of the young dudes in the chat a couple times. So. It's funny. I'll be like, man, leave me alone. But anyway, Mona D, what's your thoughts on that?
Oh, well, I definitely believe that is something that is, potentially feasible for women in the age range. I'm in that age range, so that's probably on par. But to what More Real Talk says, it definitely depends on, what her career path is, whether she's just a professional woman, if she's doing something else, maybe she's, in some type of skill trade or some other career path. But I do think that that's about on par, whether you're single, married or whatever, that could be the potential income based on your career path and your trajectory. So.
Yeah, and I definitely agree. And I think putting these into perspective instead of having these fictitious conversations about outlandish amounts of money, I mean, it's pretty insane. But I think those numbers are actually good, for the conversation. We did black men, it was like $72,000. So yeah, so I think this is gonna make some headway, in my opinion. So thank you, Mona. And we got Ash. What's your thoughts on that income number? What you think? I know you're making the big bucks in the Navy. So
You're on mute, Ash.
uh-oh.
My bad. Yeah, I think it's definitely attainable. You said it's the national average, right? So like if it's the average, I think setting that as a bar for a woman that's like in the mid 30s to that 44 age range, especially if it's a single woman who's been like more career focused than family focused, I think is definitely attainable for sure.
Yeah, and I definitely agree. So I think I showed this information to a couple of my friends, and they were shocked at the number. And because you listen to YouTube or social media, and everybody is talking about 100,000 and 200,000. I'm like, man, where are all these rich people? So it just makes sense. So yeah, so I'm glad I was able to put that through. So let's get to I'm So Chill. What's going on, brother? What you think, man?
How y'all doing, man? I think it's extremely feasible. Truth be told, I kind of see it as the norm, really. A lot of women in their fields, medical, banking, they tend to make roughly right at that 60 plus, between 60 to 70, so I do see it as easily obtainable. So I don't think it's far-fetched to expect that.
Yeah, same here. So yeah, this is a pretty easy one. I'm telling you, Chill, we gonna need you here for the next one, brother. I got you.
Yeah.
Professor, what up, though? What you think?
What up, though? No, I think it is obtainable. Is also needed. So we got to make sure that we're going into the right professions. I know in my city, the median household income is a little bit under $70,000. With people being single, the single tax is between $300 and $3,500 a month. So you talk about $36,000 to $42,000 a year you're going to need to spend on just housing expenses. So that amount of money is definitely going to be needed to be able to survive, especially in my city.
Yeah. Where you at now?
I'm in the good old Queen City of Charlotte, North Carolina.
Hey, Charlotte.
Charlotte.
So you up there with MRT? Oh, okay.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
I didn't know that. So before I stop the poll, I want to get to some of these super chats real quick. I think we got to hold on. Who's blockchain again? Got $49.99 super. They said for Jess's internet not having her looking like a 8-bit. Do y'all know each other? That seemed like a comment where y'all have some history. So
Yeah, no, Jet's internet sometimes it used to be bad. She had a
Used to
technician
be.
come
Yeah,
over.
Keyword
They
used
fixed
to
it.
be. I'm never gonna live it down.
That's funny. All right, thank you, brother. And Dante Brian $5 super chat said most dudes don't care if we're in a relationship. Maybe make enough for grocery stuff around the house, and an occasional utility here and there. Well, honestly, I wouldn't say most. And I think that notion of men don't care about a woman's money, we need to stop that, because the majority of men actually do care about a woman's money. And it's just not me saying that. It's going to be some statistics that you guys may have not seen before, and it's going to put things into perspective. So I get it. That was an old Kevin Samuels thing, but he was talking about like the top 10, 15%. Those men don't care about a woman's money, and nor should they, right? But the regular, average, man and woman, yeah, you're going to have to care about that woman's money at some point when y'all get into a relationship. But yeah, you'll see. Thank you, brother. Let's see. And we got the Block Reppin'. That's a cold name. $5 super chat said if she's professional, she should know the true numbers and move cognizant of it. Needs over wants. And I mean, honestly, that's why we're here, because a lot of people don't know. And this is not for the panel. You know what I'm saying? This is for everybody that's watching. You may not know some of this stuff. So it'll help them from, the conversations. So Matthew Pearson, $5 super chat said this for the 80K fellas. GMT, what up? Big man and toxic. MRT, don't let me down. MRT is toxic? You want to respond to that?
Yeah. I don't know why he calls me that. He's heard, I guess, some stuff I've said, and he's just like, you're toxic. But I think we all might have a little dose of toxic in there somewhere. We could be a little petty Betty sometimes, right?
Okay, I give you that because I was like, man, I was about to stick up for you. I'm like, what are you talking about, brother? I don't know about this.
Exactly. Yes. And then for some reason, I got service issues. I can't type in the chat. So
Yeah, I seen that, and I don't know what's going on. So, did
It's-
you have
Yeah, I'm
anything you
having
wanted to post? Anything?
Sorry.
Did you want to post anything or?
no, I was messing with Matthew.
Oh, okay. All right. So let me go ahead and end this poll, and I'm doing this just to make sure that we have some continuity when we put this, I guess, this clip together. So the chat, let me see if they agrees. The majority of the folks, if that's feasible, said, "Do you agree with the ladies?" Said 54% said yes. Okay, cool. And we got 42 votes. So this is going to be a clip, so you guys will be able to use it. So and it's going to be, I guess, framed as, is this a tangible number for women Black women between the ages of 35 to 44? So yeah, so that's why we're kind of doing the poll to keep the chat interactive. So thank you guys for voting. For whoever voted, greatly appreciate it. And while we get ready for the next one, did anybody have any questions, comments, or any additions to that?
I'm good on my side.
Yeah.
Sounding good so far.
Okay, cool.
I'm good.
Chill, you good?
Oh yeah, I'm good. I'm not revving up my engine just yet.
You know,
Well, maybe this would this is pretty light. But does anybody on the chat know what the average credit score is?
Ooh, I think don't quote me, but I think the average credit score right now, especially in the Black community, is roughly is between 680, 680 and lower and below, actually.
Mhm.
Anybody else? Any guesses? I'm
gonna say
670.
between five and change, 580 to like 620, right?
Mm-hmm. Anybody else?
670 to what? 720.
Okay.
So I kind of cheated. I mean, it might be 718.
Say it again.
718 as of March 2024.
For Black folks?
Well, I didn't put for Black folks specifically.
That's why I said for
I'm
Black
sorry,
folks.
I'm a Googler, so I just
No,
go
same
straight to
here.
Google.
Yeah. I'm glad you did that. I got the same numbers with the overall credit score. Yeah, so let's get to it since we already got the discussion going. So the next one, what's one of the ladies put that in their list? Credit score. One of y'all put that in there? Who was it?
I think Jess put it in hers.
Okay.
Well, I put financial literacy.
Oh, that's coming up.
Overall.
Definitely coming up.
Oh, okay.
That's coming up. I got that one. So the
I
next,
bulked that all together.
yeah. So the quantifiable, should Black men expect Black women to have good credit? So what is considered good credit is between 670 and 70 or 739, right? So that would be considered good credit. Now, in regards to the Black community, the average credit score for us is 627. Yeah, that's where we land. So over 500, but it's 627 as compared to all communities, 709, and then 612 for Native American, Hispanic, 667, and 727 for white folks, right? So, so we do have some work to do. So this one may be a little bit tough in regards to should we expect Black women between the ages of 35 to 44 to have a good credit score, which is 670 and up, right? So GMT, is that feasible?
I think with the problem with our community is we're not credit literate. A lot of us are not teaching our children how to build credit. So is it feasible? Of course, we're definitely with the education and understanding how to use credit cards properly, then yes. But the way that it's going, I don't really see it happening anytime soon in our community. So no.
Man, that's a tough pill to swallow. I'm sorry. We'll start with Jess this time. What's your thoughts on that credit score?
So I definitely think, because especially when we think about buying houses and needing that signature, the signatures that we need to go forward and things like that, is definitely important with our credit scores. And I do agree that that should be even added, financial literacy class in our schools, which they haven't
Mhm.
done that. They're putting a whole lot of other stuff rather than, the things that they actually need. But especially our community needs to actually focus more on that, because we do not, as GMT said, we do not have a lot of literacy in our community. And I remember someone even came out with a little board game, which is really cool, to kind of like for parents to use with their children and things like that, or even going to see a financial advisor and things like that. We should kind of probably promote it more, talk more about it, spread the word, and kind of get more literacy in our communities.
No, yeah, and I definitely agree, and that's why try and share as much John Hope Bryant's content as much as possible, because he preaches that a lot, and it gives you kind of insight on where the Black community lands, and definitely credit is where it starts. And I know that seems to be a sticking point for both Black men and Black women when we have these relationship conversations. I'm starting to hear more women say, "Yeah, you need a good credit score. What's up? Need a passport, things like that." Right. So yeah, I think moving forward, we do have some improvement. So overall, do you think that it's feasible for Black women to reach that between the ages of 35 to 44?
I mean, it's feasible, but with a lot of work and changes. So
I agree. I definitely agree. It's gonna be tough. Mona, what's your thoughts?
It's all bad, oh my goodness. It's, we carry the highest, consumer debt amongst credit cards. So we definitely, if you're single and childless, yes, of course, you're probably going to spend a little more, regarding your income. But by the time you are 35 to 44, we should have had some increased amount of financial literacy. And we should have had some improved credit. And like to Jess's point, yes, we would have to definitely become very disciplined, because we are easily influenced as women. We are marketed to all the time, and we want to keep up with every, other woman. For the most part, when it comes to things, we go on TikTok, we are inundated with things, on all these social media platforms. We spend a lot of time on social media. We want to kind of do and be like a lot of other women and have a lot of things. But you definitely need to have a mindset change, especially if you're going to be serious about dating and marriage and having children. And we do need some work, and we do need to be disciplined about it. So yeah, that's my stance about it. We got work to do,
so
ladies.
You think it's a little bit too much consumer spending amongst the ladies?
I do. I think it is a lot of consumer spending amongst ladies. But I think, what was the average credit score again?
It was like
627.
627.
I think that's feasible. I think that's feasible. A little higher, but I think, definitely a lot of work. But we should get that credit score up for sure.
Yep. Because I think what's the average for to buying a house is 620? Is that it?
Yeah,
620. And with an FHA loan, it's roughly 620. 620 with an FHA.
Yeah, with the FHA, yeah, somewhere right now. I could be wrong. I'm asking y'all. Y'all may know more information about me. I just threw that out there. I remember hearing that somewhere. I don't know. But Ash, what's your thoughts on that? I think is she on mute?
So I did put good credit on my list, and this was my thought process.
There we go.
This was my thought process behind it. I love that Jess mentioned that a lot of times, like, we don't start out as adults with that financial literacy that other races may used to at a younger age. So in your 20s, you make a lot of financial mistakes for sure. But by the time you're like through life, by the time you hit your 30s, 35 range, you've gathered enough information to like correct the mistakes that you made in your 20s. So I think achieving 627 in your mid 30s is definitely definitely possible. Like that should definitely be a goal, if not sooner, because you learn through life, and you know, you make mistakes. You're like, okay, that didn't work out. I see interest rates. Like, okay, I'm digging myself into a hole. So like, you learn how to maneuver better. So like, yeah, by the mid-30s, I think a 627 definitely should be the goal for women.
Yeah, it's funny you mentioned it. I remember Patrice O'Neal said something like when he was young, comedian Patrice O'Neal, he say, "Man, when I was young, I would curse the creditors out. You know, they would call, be like, man, you take my money. I don't care." He said when he got older, he was like, "Well, what is it you need, sir? What do I default on?" It was funny. You change. Once you start to get, I think 35 to 44 is a sweet spot. And it's like, hey, man, we got to have stuff together. So, and I think that's why the conversation is framed as before you disqualify, make sure you qualify. Because what you're asking of somebody else, please make sure you bring in the same thing, what they say, to the proverbial table, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. So, and that's pretty much what we're going for. MRT, what's your thoughts?
Yes, I would say it's something that's obtainable just because I'm 28 and I have a way higher credit score than that. Mm-hmm. So I think it's something, it definitely has a lot to do with our financial illiteracy as a community. It's not something that's taught in schools. It's just kind of something you learn along the way. And it's ironic, earlier today, I was having a conversation with one of my younger guy friends, and I was explaining to him like the importance of credit and how you can kind of get by easier with different things you want in life when you have a better credit score, because you've kind of, proven that you can, X, Y, and Z, take care of certain things. So yeah, it's something that a lot of us aren't too privy on, but I believe with the right mindset and goal, that's something that is very, very obtainable.
Yeah. And just for any guys out there listening, credit score says a lot. Especially for women on the dating market. I know that's one of the qualifiers now. And also I heard a funny conversation. This woman said, if he has a global entry pass, then that means, his criminal record is, probably non-existent. And she was like kind of qualifying guys based off of that. And I was like, man, you better Google that man's name. This way, just make sure he's good. But yeah, so credit score is definitely important. So let's get to Professor. What up?
Hold up. No, I think a credit score is very important, especially since I weigh more than mine. But
you wow.
No, I need to use some ladies' credit. MRT, what's up? But no, but everyone's right. Education and credit, why it's important, how to use it effectively. But it also goes back to what we said earlier with the money. A lot of us are taking jobs that don't pay us enough, so we have consumer debt. But also, the women with kids are also putting credit in their kids' names, and by the time they're 18, that credit is messed up. Yep. We need to do the reverse of that, like other cultures do, and we may put them on as an authorized user. So by the time they're 18, they have a good credit score, so they're ready to go and do what they need to do. So that goes into the educational piece, so that we learn how to use credit effectively as parents to make sure our kids get a good start.
I'm definitely a product of that. I had a SMUD electricity bill in my name when I was like 14 years old.
Oh my God.
Oh man.
I didn't know what was going on.
That's crazy.
Since when was I paying for electricity? I'm so chill. What up?
What's going on, y'all?
You got the floor.
All right. So, do I think it's feasible? Absolutely. And there's one thing that kind of bothers me a little bit. It's like when we say that we're not, literate when it comes to credit, especially our Black women. Now, I know I wasn't, coming up. I didn't know anything about credit. The woman, my ex-wife, had to teach me about credit, and I don't want to use my own experience as a barometer for everybody, but a lot of Black women that I met were very acute when it came to credit. They knew how to use credit for leverage. They always had a very decent score that was pretty high, that they were able to obtain different apartments or cars and stuff like that. But the problem that I saw was that they didn't know how to stop spending, because my experience is when they feel a certain way, they spend based on how they feel. There's never much logic behind it. They just spend based on how they feel. And, you come across somebody who feels a certain way, like my ex-wife. I used to make her feel like shit because I was stagnant. right? So she had to go out here and spend a lot of money just to feel good. She was like, "Yo, this dusty ass dude." So,
Oh man.
I seen it, you know. So to say that we need teaching, I don't know. I feel like people do know. It's just they don't know how to control it once they got it.
Mhm.
You know? But
Yeah.
yes, I do believe it's feasible.
Okay. Yeah, and I definitely agree with that. If you guys don't know, there's a PubMed research article. It's about impulse spending, and they were looking at the different types of credit for both men and women. And they said men, when they're younger, they tend to have no credit, but women, when they're younger, they tend to have credit, but it does, they have like an average of, I think, 3 to 4 credit cards. Based off of that. So it's kind of the inverse. Sometimes women do very well with credit, but they have a lot of it, and then men just don't have any at all. So to your point, like you said, your ex-wife, you know what I'm saying, you didn't know anything about it, and a lot of guys are in that position. They don't even have it. So and they gotta open up something just to make sure that they can kind of build it up, because get older, 35, 44, hey, you gonna have to buy houses, whatever. So car.
Exactly.
Yeah, I definitely agree. So y'all, let me get to these super chats real quick. Let me see okay, cool. Blockchain again with the $9.99 super chat said a woman's ideal man doesn't care. We know women don't even acknowledge average regular men, even when they are oftentimes just as average and regular. In my chill voice. He tried to put it on you.
Oh, my right. Definitely put it on you.
You want to respond to that? Anybody?
I'll take it. It sounds like something I would say.
He put it on you. That's funny. Hey, blockchain. Matthew Pierce, the $2 super chat. Thank you. He says, "Look out for So Chill, man. What you do to these? What you doing, man? Look out for So Chill.
Yo,
he a single ninja, but he cool. What you doing over there, man?
What isn't he doing is the question.
That's what it is.
What isn't he doing?
I don't know.
Azriel, first of his name with the $4.99 super chat, he said, "Please discuss Black women obsession on paying the full freight instead of 75, 25, and 80, 20. Live in NYC and I plan on living in LA. Just turned 30. I'm not paying 100%. Okay, brother. Yeah, thank you. We gonna get to it, man. We got you. Anybody want to respond to that? Or?
I was just gonna say, I mean, you don't have to pay 100%. You can just find the woman that fits in your bracket. Mm-hmm. So I think we try to put that on all women of like, oh, she wants 100%, which I think ideally most of us do. But if that's not what you want, then you would have to find a woman of your caliber. But don't make it seem like the woman that does have the man come in and pay 100% that she's condemned for it because he just got it like that.
Yeah.
Anybody?
Ooh, can I see the question? Can I see it one more time?
Yeah, no problem. There you go.
Right.
On paying the full freight instead of the 7. All right, there we go. I can stop right there. To my fellas out there, and I gotta tell you, I mean, the proof is in the pudding. Women want what they want, and sometimes they will drag themselves through hell in order to get what they want. And sometimes paying 75, 25, 50 isn't what they want. That's why we're having these conversations. So maybe we can get to a solution of it all. Mm-hmm. And that's why we're here. We're going to talk about the solution. But fellas, you already know the deal. If you're coming in with half the bill, you're going to get the tables ran on you. That's the deal right there. So you can 50, 75, 25, all you want. You know what's going to happen. My brother GMT had a video up where his old lady, a lady was in his car, in the driveway of the house.
I seen that in front of the house in his car.
In front of the house.
His car. That's wild work.
And see, I gotta be 100%. And what the fellas didn't pay attention to after watching that video is what the gentleman said. He said, "I'm going to pack my stuff and leave." Oh, that sounds like you live with her, brother. Mm-hmm. You already know what's going to happen. If you don't have the leverage or power, get ready.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
He
shoot.
had to go. He had bad credit.
Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah, bad credit.
That's
Motel
that 625.
That's a
Mhm.
dang shame if you get cheated on and you got to move out. Like, God, dog.
That's a double whammy.
Lord have mercy. All right. The Block repping $2 super chat said women can sell lashes and call themselves bosses. What they got to do with anything?
Right.
Thank you, brother.
I just gotta say,
Man, it was funny. Today after the gym, I had to go to the beauty supply store and get a comb. You know, my child wanted a comb. I didn't know what I was doing in there, man. And you go in the beauty supply store and you start to see all these different gadgets and boxes of lashes and stuff. I was like,
Yeah.
God, dog. Like, I didn't know they
Yeah,
had.
somebody
What?
is a boss out there because we buying it.
Yeah, they
Somebody
was
is.
all in there, multiple different types. I was like, that's
Mhm.
crazy. I
Yep.
stayed in there too long. I was like, man, I just need to go.
Mm.
Let's see, blockchain 999 super chat. He said the black community has the spending power higher than a gross domestic product, GDP of over 120 countries, Russia included. Yeah, man, we discussed this on the financial episode. We got the money, we just gotta, put it in the right places. So yeah, I definitely agree. The fresh perspective with Lady Fresh. That's a cool name.
Lady Fresh.
Oh yeah, okay. Hey, I was like, yeah, that's a nice name. 999 super sticker. Thank you. Appreciate your support. Welcome. Let's see here. And Prince Paxton, my guy, what's going on with the 1999 super chat? Said much love to the cast. Nothing better. Black minds coming together. 100. Thank you, brother, man. Good to see you back here. Hope the fam good. Everybody good, man. Blessings to you. And Dante Bryan, $2 super chat said that's because mama keeps stuff on it. What I missed?
Huh?
Oh, we're talking about, I guess it's the credit. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. King Rue, $10 super chat said black men need to network with other good black men to find out where the money is at. Your network is indicative of your net worth. Okay.
Totally agree.
Good point.
I
Totally
stand
agree.
on that one.
Totally agree.
Totally.
Anybody want to cook?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, the biggest thing that black men could do is stick with each other.
Yeah.
Learn
Yeah.
from each other and build and truly build together. And that's the reason why I have most of my success. It's
Right.
usually someone else that looked up and either taught me how to get what I got, or literally gave me a helping hand. So
Mhm.
you got to network exactly with the people where you want to be in life.
Right.
I wanna just definitely touch in on that.
Mhm.
Look, that has always been an important thing to me, man. Black men, and I've said it all the time, especially on GMT's show, that if you want change, black men need to unite together and move in the same direction.
Mhm.
And when you move in the same directions, that's how you change your environment. We can sit on panels all day and talk about relationships, the differences between men and women, and whose fault, blah, 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 blah.
Mhm.
You can have all day, but nothing is going to change if men don't just stand 10 toes down, start networking, and just moving in the same direction. You know what I'm saying? We don't got to agree on everything, but we need to learn how to stay on code, because the numbers and the stats don't lie. Glad that we're here with Media Man, because he could prove it. He literally he could prove what I'm saying.
Literally.
They're on code, fellas. They are on
Yeah.
code.
It's gonna get we gonna get crazy with these stats.
Oh, yeah.
It's gonna get
You got
good. It's
you
gonna
got-
definitely start putting things into perspective for the black community, and that's why I think this is so important. So we can kind of frame these conversations off tangible information. You know what I'm saying? And so it's gonna it's gonna be crazy here in a second. I promise you that. But the poll ended, and ironically, it's 50-50. So good credit. Is it feasible for black women between ages 35-44? The chat is split between 50. They're like, man, yes or no. Anybody, any thoughts on that?
Oh man, I got a lot of ideas rattling in my brain, but I want to let somebody else jump in real quick.
So you said it's only 50-50 of people voting? that
No.
they agree with
I
that?
mean, the votes were split. We had 46 votes, and it was split 50-50 down the middle. So no yes or no. They don't think. Some people think it's feasible. Some people think it's not. Obtaining 670 credit score to get to good.
I mean, it just goes back to your priorities. I mean, honestly, like, there is something, like it just depends. Like, do you want to spend extra money on things that don't matter, or when you have the money, are you going to put that towards your credit cards, your payment, and your debt? But I think as Black people, especially, we focus on more so of like our image and what's going to be temporary happiness, something that's just really not important in life. So it just goes back to your mindset on really where you want to go and diving in to get that knowledge on how to build your credit score and to really pay off your debt and stay on top of that.
Right.
I think it's harder to stay on top of it than to clear it up, because once you get it there, you have to really make moves to make sure you don't have that one thing that'll knock you down 40 points, 80 points, 100 points. And it sucks because it takes like 3 months to get there. Boom, one payment or one missed, whatever, and those points will be deducted.
Yeah,
So,
you get that email. You know what I'm saying? I'm definitely subscribed. Any activity, I'm getting the email. I'm like, hold on, let me check this out. What the hell's going on here?
Right.
But I can understand that. I can understand that 50% too, because you have a lot of, well, one, we have an obsession with peacocking. Secondly, you do have single mothers out there that feel bad that their kids go without. When we just have back to school, so a lot of women will go in debt to make sure their kids have a pair of sneakers or something like that, or around Christmas time, you know, if they don't put something on it, like you said, I don't know many places that do layaway anymore, but they'll go into debt to make sure that their kids have something for Christmas, as opposed to saying, hey, I don't got it this year, or get them a little something here or there. So I understand that they do, that a woman can go into debt a lot more, but and that credit score can dip because of those three factors I just provided.
Yeah,
that's true.
Anyone else?
I think for me to like gauge it better, I would have to understand why people are saying no. Like, what's the obstacles, right?
Right.
Like, I love what the professor just said, but so the list we came up, we were focused on like single women and like 35 to 44 age range. So I would just have to hear from like a group of people on like the nose, because a lot of us agree. I think everyone agreed that it was attainable. So for the out that way, like I need the other side to be like,
right.
Oh, this is why we.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure they in the chat. I told them to send in that super chat if they got any insight. Let me see what Azriel said. It's a 999 said, I noticed Black people that live in the South don't acknowledge the Black people living on the coast. I never said 50-50, but to expect the Black men under 35 to pay for a full mortgage here in Cali, New York is dumb rhetoric. Yeah, and like I said, that's why we focus on the 35 to 44. You remember 2 weeks ago, we did the financial stuff, and I was pointing out where people hit their peak in regards to earnings financially, right? So I know sometimes in these social media spaces, we do hear those conversations where a man is supposed to pay all the bills as a boyfriend, you know, and being young. And that's kind of, I agree with you there. That's unrealistic, right? But in this age range, it may be a little bit different. Chill, go ahead, Cook.
Yeah, I did want to address something. Let me apologize to my brother. I hope I didn't miscrew anything that you said. Now, here's the thing. I know you didn't mention 50-50, but 9 times out of 10, if a man is already living on his own and doing his thing, and he purchased his house on his own, he's going to be paying that stuff on his own. Now, in some cases, I see guys talk about, you know, paying things in full is when they're shacking up with somebody, you know, and that's what I'm talking about. But you're going to be paying this stuff on your own anyway. And if you feel confident that you're bringing a woman into your house, because that is what you're doing, right? Bringing a woman into your home, where you're already taking care of the bills. I'm not saying that, you know, you shouldn't, you know, have her pay something, but, you know, that's basically what I meant from the get-go. I wasn't trying to say that I expect guys to pay everything, but if you already have your own, because I come from the standpoint of having my leverage, you know, I'm not even giving up my leverage at no point. Been there, done that. I got my ass handed to me. But
hey, but I'm glad that you led into this next conversation. You said a Black man should be bringing a Black woman into his home. Let's see if that's true or not, because should Black men expect Black women to own their own home? Right? So, like I said, I'm glad that you led into this conversation, brother, because we're going to see who own the homes in the Black community. Here we go. Should Black men expect Black women to own a home? According to the National Association of Realtors, 2024 home sales statistics by gender are as follows. Married couples own 59% of the homes. Single females own 19% of the homes. Single males, 10% of the homes. And unmarried couples, 9% of the homes. The share of single females has increased slightly, and single females and single males are more likely to buy townhouses, row houses, cottages, or cabins than other household types. Gen Z has the highest percentage of single female buyers at 31%, and younger millennials have the highest percentage of unmarried couples at 19%. Also, the race and ethnicity of home buyers. White/Caucasian own 81% of the houses of all buyers. Hispanic/Latino, 7% of the homes. Black/African American, 7% of the homes. Asian/Pacific Islander, 6% of the homes. And other, 6% of the homes. And to continue, household composition by race and ethnicity. Married couple Black/African Americans own 45% of the homes within their community. Single females own 29% of the homes. Single Black males, 11% of the homes. Unmarried couples, 8% of the homes. And 7% of the Black homes are owned by other. Right. So was any of that information shocking to you guys? GMT, what you think?
Well, no, for me, it's not shocking because I've been watching you for a while, right? So it's definitely not a shocking matter. But I think this is a great topic. And the reason why I would say that is because I always advise men, never, ever move in with a woman. Have your own, build your own, and then move her in with you. Or if you don't have your own, build with her and then put it together, if anything, and make it happen. But never moving with a woman, that's just where I stand, my opinion, if she has her own home. So no, I don't think men should expect women to own their own homes. I believe men should build for themselves or with a woman.
Okay, yeah, and I mean, would be rare because most people, they own their first home, they purchase their first home about age 35, right? And as you guys seen in the stats, 29% of single Black women out of the 7% of Black people overall own, homes, right? Mm-hmm. And then only 11% of Black men. So that's not the majority, right? So Mona D, what's your thoughts on that?
So my thought is that no, I personally don't believe women should be owning homes personally to live in, just from a safety perspective, a cost perspective, and to what GMT's point is, you want to, build with your husband and come in together like that. I just don't believe women should be putting that amount of pressure from a handyman perspective, from a, you're more susceptible to be victimized in that way, to be as a homeowner, single woman, depending on what community that you're living in. You just make yourself a little more prey, in my opinion. I would rather, have a home together with my husband versus, any other thing. I think you should have your own place as a woman, definitely a place that's adequate, affordable, safe for you, but you don't need to have a home as a single woman, in my opinion.
So what's your thoughts on the women that don't want marriage? What should they do?
I think that they should be smart if they're going to own a home. Look at, and I think we talked about that earlier in the week, be mindful about the communities that you're living in. Look at the long term, not just look at, hey, I like this home, it's comfortable for me today. If everything falls out the bottom, are you going to, as a single woman, have that income, right? We talked about your finances, your management of your money. Have you put yourself in a position to be prepared to cover that mortgage, that insurance, all the other expenses for repairs? Can you handle all of that on your own? And it's not a significant impact on your financial and negative way. So that's just my perspective about that.
Right. Thank you. Ash, what's your thoughts on that?
So it goes back to the age range that we're talking about again. Once again, we're talking about 35 to 44-year-old women. I think they should definitely own a home, whether they want to be married or not. You can move in with your husband when that stage comes. What if that doesn't come until you're like 50 years old? And especially in this economy, rent is so high now. Like it's crazy. Like the cost of living, even if you're in like a standard basic apartment, at least in Virginia, through the roof, you're gonna pay way more in rent than you are gonna pay in a mortgage, right? Well, based on your credit or whatever. But like you gotta have decent credit to get a home anyway. So I think like financially, it's a pretty smart decision for a woman to own a home. Because if not, then I'm not saying like what have you been doing during that time, but it's just like 35 to 44, you need to start like laying some roots, being established somewhere, like
Right.
And like unless you plan to make some big Jurassic move cross country in the near future, at that age I feel like, I'm not saying like it's time to like settle a little bit, like at least location wise, and invest in something. I think owning property is a great investment, and it doesn't mean that when your husband comes along you can't go move in with them. Like definitely, and then sell your property right now, whatever you want to do with your property, but like you still have something, right? You don't invest it in something, you made a big investment. So yeah, I think women should own their own home.
Do you think that process of selling a home, like say you do meet your husband, not you necessarily, but a black woman owning a home, is that a tough thing to do, you think, in regards to selling your home and then moving with your husband, and then you got to work out who's going to be on, on the paperwork, so on and so forth? Would that be a hurdle, or is that something that's easily to work through?
I think it depends on the state of the economy, honestly, because like, during the pandemic, everyone was buying left and right, so selling the house easy. But it just depends on the time and the state of the economy at the time. And then I don't know. I never sold a house before, so I don't know. I just know it depends on whether it's a buyer's or seller's market. So it's hard to answer that question.
Yeah, it
But
definitely.
like, as far as keeping it and like who name going to be on it, like what you have before the marriage is still yours, and then like whatever y'all build together afterwards, then
You think so?
Yeah, I ain't never been married either, but in my mind, I'm like, when I got before you on my own, like that was me.
Right. You like, it's still mine. Okay.
Like if things go south, like don't take away what I already had. Be nice.
You sound like men. That's how men sound in the court. Just please don't take what I already had.
Don't take what I got.
You had nothing to do with this. Leave me alone. Like leave that out.
MRT, what's up?
I definitely agree with Ashley, but I also agree with what Miss Mona said. As far as like safety and security and stuff like that, you could be more prone to just attacks and stuff like that. But I guess you could say this part is where like my modern womanness comes in, is that I personally don't feel like you should wait to get a man to do something like that. I feel like that's just if your finances are right and you are prepared to take on the additional like maintenance that a house is going to require, then go for it. I think, as you move along in your career, certain things in life, whether you're married or not, certain things just kind of set in, like Ash was saying, is like you plant your roots and you kind of go from there, unless you have some type of career that you're traveling constantly or I don't know, whatever. But yes, I feel like as long as you are financially ready for that, then yes, definitely go for it.
Right. Okay, cool. Jess, what's your thoughts? Home ownership by 35 to 44.
So I actually don't mind a woman having a home if that's her prerogative. If she's unmarried, that's fine. And if she's married, I feel like more so rent it out or do something productive, because property can be a great investment. So if we actually use the property as an investment piece and then but I don't believe that we should move into, like, he should move into her house
Yeah,
or
no.
anything like that. I don't condone that at all. I feel like y'all should start afresh, anew, and start that path, you know, going forward.
So
But
what you think about
definitely,
this?
if she has something.
No, go ahead. I'm listening.
No, I was just saying, definitely, if she has something already, then definitely she can use it as an investment piece.
So what you think about this concept? And I heard this, I heard T.I., the rapper, say this. He was saying that people spend a lot of money on the wedding, but they could just simply invest in a new house and have the wedding in the backyard of the new home. What's your thoughts on that?
So I'm fairly frugal, so you know, I can't gauge how I go by things with other women sometimes with certain things, but I actually look for the better deals on everything. So I'm cutting costs as much as possible. That's like, in the long run, that's a wiser choice. So
I agree. What's your thoughts, Professor?
Yeah. Again, sort of what Jess was saying, if, you know, do as you wish, you know, but for how I personally see it is I personally believe in rent where you live and own what you can rent. Because owning a home, that comes with a lot of stipulations. There's no mobility or flexibility. So if you're in a town or a city where you can't make the amount of money you want to make and a job offer comes, what do you do? That's a whole pain. And like you said, right now the economy is what it is. So if the economy's down and you can't sell your house, what do you do then? And then on top of that, rent is actually cheaper than mortgages right now, with inflation being what it is. A mortgage on a home is going to cost you a little bit more. In addition to that, there's maintenance. If something breaks in your apartment, someone fixes it. If something breaks in your home, you got to have the discretionary funds to take care of that. Also, while you're renting, you know, if you rent 2-3 bedrooms and you do some group economics where you can have people come in and live with you, now you can start saving some money and put the money you save and put it into assets. So if you want to do houses, whatever, you'll have some extra money to put down payments on those homes that you can go rent out to other people. So now, as you're growing that portfolio, your rental properties are now paying for your lifestyle. So instead of put all that money into one home, put it to other situations where you can do the investment. So like I said, I believe in rent where you live and own what you can rent.
Yeah, and I agree that home ownership, and this is a shout out to everybody who mentioned that. That's one of the fastest way to generate generational wealth in regards to how we talk about these conversations. If we want to be realistic, home ownership is a big thing. But I did, go a little bit deeper in regards to this conversation, because I've seen a lot of Black women complaining about owning a home and how they wish they wouldn't have bought it. I know you guys seen the rhetoric on TikTok, and they're kind of getting shocked at escrow, and and they'll turn around and be like, "Oh, what is this?" And I think it was some of them were just misinformed on what what could happen every year once that review is done. And so they were kind of shocked. And then also, to your point, Professor, with the repairs, that shocked them as well. When you start looking at how much air conditioning costs to repair, let's say water heater, especially if you're buying a resale home and it's not new construction, you can expect some things to happen, And that video, it was good to learn from. Forgot the young lady's name on YouTube, but it's a Black lady. She does like in-depth insight on that, and she was good to listen to. So anybody, go ahead. I see
one more thing.
Go ahead.
So just so you guys know, in the state of North Carolina, this is another reason why it's good not to own property before you're married. In the state of North Carolina, any property you own prior to marriage, that's not your primary residence that you own prior to marriage, you get to keep. That you don't have to, no one splits that. But the moment you get married, your partner, your husband or your wife is now 50% owner, whether they're on the mortgage or not. So that's the biggest thing. So if you do buy a property prior to getting married as a woman, and then you marry a man who may be a dusty, he is now entitled to 50% of that. You can't sell it without him signing off. So just keep that in mind for the state of North Carolina. So make sure you check your laws, because that's how it is in North Carolina.
Wow. Jess?
So just on what he just said too, that's fine, but then also that's when you're looking already negative, like when people are talking about divorce before they even get married and all that stuff. So I get that that's something to think about, but that's if you're joining houses together, if you're joining your life together, that shouldn't be a problem really, and unless you plan on getting a divorce in the future. But what I wanted to say before, that's kind of go hand in hand with that financial literacy. You also have to research when you are going into a house, and that's the problem that you just stated. A lot of people do not research.
Yep.
So when you research, you're going to understand. You have to look at the housing market. You have to look at all these other things, property tax. You have to look at everything, even in certain areas. You have to look at that before you even consider going forward. And if it doesn't make any sense, don't go forward and do it, whether you're married or not, or whatever the situation is.
Right. Yeah, I agree with everything you said. And one point that I was telling one of my my nieces when she was thinking about it, I told her, I was like, if you come to me and you say, I want to buy a home, and I start asking questions and you're like, well, this is all I can afford. And I'm like, well, you shouldn't be buying a home right now. If that's your rhetoric, if you say all I can afford, then you got to think about, the repairs and all this other stuff, the market, things of that nature. You need to have that residual income that can take care of those things just in case, because a lot of people get shocked with that closing cost. You want to buy a rental property or something. And then next thing you know, you're like, well, you need another $10,000, before you buy this house. And like, well, why you didn't know this? You could have went to YouTube University and would have told you that. But yeah. So, I mean, it's just the educational portion is definitely necessary in these spaces, not from like a buy my course type rhetoric. You know how y'all hear.
Right.
Yeah. Buy my course. Nah, man, this stuff is free. You can find it.
Stay away from that.
So chill. You got it.
All right. So, man, I feel like he structured this to kind of let me out my cage, and I'm trying to stay in it, y'all. I'm trying to stay in it.
Hey, you got it. The chat is already against you. So, I mean, whatever you say.
So, y'all already know how I feel about women going out here buying houses, fellas. You already know how I look at that. I usually stand clear from that, and I don't think it's a good idea for women to go out here and buy houses. Now, I'm just going to speak for the women in my community, in the Black community. Usually what I'm currently seeing is a lot of them are getting roped into these mortgages, and what ends up happening is you're literally it's a wealth killer. It's a wealth killer if you go out here and do it by yourself. You know what I'm saying? What was that? All right, you know what I'm saying? It's a legit wealth killer, when you do it by yourself. And I do agree with Media Man that it is a way to generate generational wealth, but you got to have a family. That's the whole purpose of a home, and you'll be told a lot of our sisters go out here and buy houses just to prove their mama wrong. Be like, I told you I could do it because in my head, I got this job and now I got this house. I got this big, beautiful house, but you got a 50-year mortgage. Now think about your lifetime earnings. You 30 plus, 40 plus, and now you just got roped into a 50-year mortgage. That's not a good investment. And a man that comes your way, when he see you up under all that debt, that probably hinders him from wanting to marry you, because that's, that is a huge glass of debt that a man is now going to be responsible for.
Do you think Black women between the ages of 35 and 44 should have that knowledge at that age?
I do. I think they should have that knowledge at even younger than that, but at that age, they should have that knowledge. They really should, because I hate to say this, but man, you're too old to be out here doing things based on how you feel. You really are. At some point, logic got to be put into play. You don't want to hurt yourself like that. You're not going to want to work till the day you die. So why put you under that type of debt to where now you're forced to?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Something that a lot of people don't think of, right? If you look at New York City, for instance, right? I own a house out there, but I own it outright. But the average house in New York costs $650,000.
Wow.
So you know that your mortgage alone is going to be roughly $5,000. Then the rent prices in New York is roughly around $4,000. So you are already in the hole. Now, also you got to look at the laws in New York City, where the laws are all tenant friendly. So your tenant could literally say, I'm not going to pay my rent for a whole year.
Wow.
And you can't do nothing about it.
What?
You can't kick them out. So you got to wait. It's a tenant friendly state. So, if you're trying to own and you're trying to have all of this, all of these properties and all of this stuff, it's like, you're putting yourself in a hole if bad times do happen. It's not worth it. That's why, like with the guy who sent that super chat earlier, sometimes you got to think about the outside of the South, right?
Mhm.
Where coast to coast, it's not the same.
Yeah, it definitely differs from every region that we're talking about, and I didn't know that about New York. Being
Absolutely.
tenant friendly. I heard some stories about Georgia where people are squatting and all that type of stuff.
yeah.
That was in the news recently or whatever. But New York, I would have thought they would have been on
Nope.
the people side.
That
That's a
that
shock.
actually
Go ahead,
happened
Jess.
to my dad.
Man,
That happened to my dad. Like
Wow.
a tenant decided she did not want to move out for like about 9 months. We had to go through the eviction process and everything, and she still didn't even have to. All they said was for her to move out. She didn't even have to pay it all back.
You don't have to pay no back rent. No
Wow.
back rent.
Nope.
Man,
Wow.
man. Is this something that's going to be on one of these presidential dockets?
It needs to be.
I'm at the
Well, a lot
look
of
into this and see what's
a
going
lot
on.
of that happened during the pandemic when they had rent
Yeah.
moratorium and they wasn't having people pay because or mortgage moratorium. People weren't paying that either. So a lot of that happened during those times. So yeah, it's difficult.
Damn. Man, so the poll ended. They said 56% said yes, black women should own a home between 35 to 44 years old.
Uh-oh.
That's shocking. Chill.
Uh-oh. Yeah. All right. I got an opinion about that. I know why some fellas don't get mad at me because this might not be the guys in the room, but it's usually a reason why some guys want women to already have all this stuff. So they ain't got to
What's that reason, Chill?
they ain't got to do it. There's a lot of dudes who don't mind, they like women coming already built and got the house and everything. They be like, I slide up in your house, pay a couple of bills, and there you are. It's dusty fellas out here, man. Let's just keep
Yee.
some dusties
Let's
out
hear
here.
Let's see.
So Tristan Smith said 1999 super chat said, I own 2 homes, one of which I rent out. I'll move my wife in, but her name will not, in all capital letters, go on the deed, and the house will be in my name in the prenup agreement. I'll continue to pay for it like I did before she moved in. Okay.
Makes sense.
Well, easier way around that is just to put the house in a trust.
Mm-hmm.
And because you technically don't own the house, the trust owns the house. So form an LLC, put the LLC as the beneficiary of the trust, and she can't touch it.
You know where I learned that and why I did that for my house in Maryland for my daughter? I learned that on YouTube University. So
yeah. And,
So
go ahead.
Go ahead.
So what would be the downfall of him putting her name on the deed?
What?
Or getting
She has
everything
rights to
if
the
she
house.
leaves. A lot. You see what Jess said earlier, right? Where you
Now she
don't
know the answer
get
to
married
that
with the
one.
plan. Well, yeah, because basically it's like what Jess said earlier, where you don't plan to get married to leave. But then if you think of marriage as a business, you have to think smart. 80% of black marriages are filed by black women. 50% of the times you probably stand a 50-50 chance of getting a divorce in the United States. So if you think about it like a business, that's why.
Anybody? Good point. All right, let's get to CN 199 super chat. She can rent the house or B&B, maybe. Okay, that's a new thing that Airbnb.
Yeah.
Marriage, politics, and sports. $5 super chat said a man, even if married, would be a fool to move into a woman's home. I would insist on either we sell or I buy out half to get my name on the title. I don't think she would be. I don't think she'd be okay with that. Let me see. Dante Bryan $5 super chat says she doesn't sound like men. She doesn't sound like men, doesn't she? Because you can't ask a black woman for a prenup because they'll want to fight. Well, fight if that's if that's what you want.
That's a quick way to
Enjoying
know
yourself.
whether you
Go
should.
ahead. I before I read this, Chill, yes on that.
I was going to say that'd be the quickest way for you to know whether you should deal with her or not. If she fight against one of the rules that you setting, a requirement that you must have, let her go, brother. She ain't the one for you. Don't do it.
Yep.
But what if he love her, Chill?
Man, love is a fleeting feeling. It'll be over soon. Just go get your number.
It'll be over soon.
Steven Jackson's the poster child. She wouldn't sign a prenup on wedding day, and he was out.
Yep. I shared that story. Wow, what was that, like 2 or 3 years ago? When you came up with that? Yeah, I remember that. So anybody else, ladies, do y'all want to add anything to that? Nope. Cool. All right. D320 KG with the 499 super chat said, I would love to buy a home, but as a government employee constantly moving for promotions, is it worth it? Currently renting right now. Yeah, man, do what's best for you, man. You know what I'm saying? And why are you GS? Why are you moving? What's going on? Hit me up. I'm GS. So, Tristan Smith with 1999 super chat said, buy a home warranty. It's $90 a month and will cover plumbing, electrical issues, appliance breakdown. Stop buying, you get it. Homes, inspection, home warranty saved me a lot, but it also helped that I bought new construction. Yeah, and I covered that. I'm a huge supporter of new construction homes because everything is pretty much new, and I also have all my warranties just in case anything breaks down. In Houston, air conditioning is huge. So if our air conditioning breaks down, we're gonna be cooked. So literally. So go ahead, Jess.
And I kind of feel that's the thing. Some of the things that people don't look into when they're buying a house, like the water heater, all of that, like how long it's been there, and because when that break down, that's it. You have a whole lot of costs on your hand.
You right. It'll add up, man. You be in Home Depot more times than you want to. Tiberius, what's going on? $5 super chat said, "Is that's one of y'all guys?"
I don't know, but
I don't think so.
Oh, okay. If you are working, thank you. If you are working 2 jobs to get a mortgage, you're setting yourself up to be stuck and to fail. All right. And then he has another one, $5 super chat. He says, Tom Brady kept all his properties by putting things in his mother's name. Pookie vibes, but it worked. Oh, yeah. I heard that story. His wife tried to take half and he don't own anything because it's in his mom's name. So,
that's crazy.
That was wild. Dante Bryant, $2 super chat said, I meant she does sound like a man, doesn't she? Oh, okay. Connor White Wolf with the 199 super chat. Make sure it's I'm gonna mess this up. Irrevocable. Who's more educated?
Irrevocable.
Jess, get that one, Jess.
It's irrevocable.
Somebody got it.
It's an irrevocable trust.
Irrevocable trust. There we go.
There we go.
Thank you, brother. All right, that was good. So yeah, I lean on y'all to sound certain words out. So, all right, but this next one is definitely going to be maybe contentious because we have these conversations all the time, and it's one of the biggest black men's biggest issues that I've seen them discuss in these spaces. I mean, can y'all guess where we going with this?
I feel like
where we going?
I don't know.
All right.
Oh my God.
Should black men expect black women to exercise regularly, eat healthy, and be in shape? That's why I said this is one of the main things that I hear black men discussing about our women. So here we go. Should black men expect black women to exercise regularly, eat healthy, and be in shape? Black women have the highest obesity rates in the United States, with about 4 out of 5 women being overweight or obese. In 2018, black women were 50% more likely to be obese than non-Hispanic white women. This obesity rate can have a negative impact on black women's health, increasing their chances of developing diabetes, cardiovascular disease, and arthritis, and decreasing their life expectancy. Black women may have cultural beliefs about an ideal body shape that contribute to obesity. Foods that contain refined sugars can stimulate insulin and promote fat storage. Also, some say that black women need to place more value on their bodies and longevity in order to make changes. One study found that a culturally sensitive weight loss maintenance program for black women was more effective than a standard program. After 1 year, participants in the culturally sensitive program had lower body rates and reported fewer barriers to healthy eating and physical activity. So real quick before I get to you, GMT. So the culturally sensitive weight loss program is just you know, of course I did a little bit of research on that. It was just giving Black women a little bit more time to lose weight, because some of the same diet plans that other races of women can be on, they can lose weight in a faster, you know, amount of time. However, we have to give our women, you know, a couple months more just because of the fact our diets are kind of crazy, right? We're used to eating, you know, the soul foods and all that type of stuff. And it's tough to train your palate to eat healthy. And that was actually cited. And I know it seems like an easy thing for people who have been in the gym. I know MRT is in the gym, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So yeah, so it's very tough for people who have never eaten healthy to try and adopt a fitness lifestyle. So again, this is one of the biggest points that I hear from men in these spaces. So you guys know the statistics: 4 out of 5 Black women are obese. So if we're talking about are obese or overweight, so if we're talking about the should for the 35 to 44, is that possible that we can get a significant amount of women between 35 to 44 to be in shape and adopt a healthy lifestyle, healthy fitness lifestyle? So GMT, you got it.
So absolutely 1,000%, I believe that a man should expect a woman between those ages to be in shape. Of course, if she has a child or whatever, as of recent, I'm not really saying go date single moms. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is if she had a child, the expectation is, you know, you could be a little lenient with that if that's where you want to go.
Mhm.
But for the most part, yes. I think women should know that men are very visual. And if for you to get the highest suitor of a man that you could possibly get, keeping yourself in shape is pretty much wealth for most women.
Yeah.
Points, man. Let's go with Ash. What's your thoughts? You in the military, we have our fitness standards, so
They have decreased over the years drastically.
yeah, that's true.
But now, should it be mandatory for them to eat healthy? I'm gonna say no, and they don't have to go to the gym. But my thought is, and please do not beat me up when I say this, but I feel like they should maintain, like, how you meet someone, you should work hard to strive. I don't care how you do it, whether you eat healthy, go to the gym, starve yourself, whatever, to maintain what you were when you initially met. Now, I know through years, but like 35 to 44, like your metabolism already started to slow down when you hit 30.
Yep.
Like by 35-ish, 40 for sure, you kind of like where you're going to be at for life, and you shouldn't lax or stray too far away from that. Like, I don't think no more than 10 to 15 pounds should be gained outside of like health reasons. You know what I'm saying? And if you have a kid, yeah, take time to, you know, chill for a year and then like get back in there. But like losing yourself completely because you finally, like, because you got the person that you want, I think it's a disservice to whoever you're with, because, you know, they didn't choose to be with this bigger version of you. They wanted to.
Yeah, they didn't sign up for that. And not
Right.
that. You know, you get comfortable. You know, once you got the man, I mean, that has been cited multiple times. My thing, you know, tell people you're not trying to look like the 20-year-old supermodel. You're just trying to be the best 35-year-old that you can be, right? And, you know, it starts with weight loss and getting into the gym. It's very tough, especially I think me and MRT talked about this on our stream, where guys have a priority to, you know, having a woman who's in shape. But when they pick a woman when they're younger, they don't find women that have already adopted a gym lifestyle. So they find these women who are, you know, they look like they're in shape because they're young, the metabolism is high, fat lands in the right places, big booty, whatever it is. But then when they marry this woman, she gets pregnant, gains, you know, 40, 50 pounds, and it stays. And now it's 3 years later, and she's still, you know, the same size. And he's like, okay, now I want you to go to the gym. That's tough. She ain't never been there. So she don't know what she's doing. So that if it's important to you, and I'm talking to the men, then you need to make sure that you get you a woman that's already in the gym. But your ass need to be in there as well, because they be tough. So MRT, what's your thoughts?
Yeah, I was like itching for this one. I think like in the list that I had sent y'all, that I had sent you, I put fitness like as a standard because fitness is a part of self-love. No one else is gonna have to face any type of health, anything other than you. So getting a man because you're in shape is literally just a plus. It shouldn't be the goal to get in shape so you can get a man. You should have already been keeping yourself up your entire life. Because the bottom line is the older you get, things are going to change, whether you're naturally slim or not. And if you want to keep it tight and sitting upright, then you would need to go to the gym. So, I mean, I have one of my coworkers I've mentioned a couple of times. She's younger than me. She's got 2 identical twins. They're 4 and she still has the baby weight. And she makes certain comments about herself throughout the day. Like, how people, when they feel some type of way about themselves, they make the comments about it. And I told her, I told her straight up, I said, you should have been lost that weight. You young, you are in your prime. Like, rip that stuff off of you and shine how you want to shine. Because that's what I be doing. I love the way I look. It's only getting better, and it's always look that way because I care about how I physically look, and I think every woman should, like, not to get a man, but because you love yourself. Getting a man is gonna be a plus. It's just a plus.
Yeah, it's a byproduct. It will happen. It will definitely increase your options. I'm not telling us a guarantee that you will find the man, once you lose weight, but you will increase your options or your dating pool once you get in shape. So, I mean, there's studies out there.
And it feels great. Like, it feels so good. Like, I've been getting more into the gym since we've talked last time. And I'm like, the changes.
Have you made those videos yet? What's going on? The community
I have not, because I want to get a certain level of how I used to. Like, now I'm really getting back into that flow where I don't even take like my breaks in between. I'd be so pumped. I have somebody stopped me in the gym and he was like, you're sweating like crazy. He was like, I'm not doing enough. I need to go back over here and do this and that. So right now I'm kind of reconditioning my mind, like push. Okay. And I'm seeing these goals, but they coming.
All right.
I gotta give you some new outfits.
Yeah. What's that Dion quote? If you look good, you feel good, or something like that. Good, something like that.
If you look good, you feel good. If you feel good, they pay good. No, if you look good, if you feel good, you look good. If you look good, you play good. And if you play good, they pay good.
There you go. Yeah. So I was like, I always remember that somewhat. Jess, what's your thoughts? Should Black women between the ages of 35 to 44 be in shape? And remember, this is based off of what Black men said. And I'm gonna give you some insight. If you didn't watch the video, or if you did, Black men said that they should be in shape between the ages of 35 to 44. Yes. So
I would like to say absolutely.
Yes. Because sometimes my bad, Jess. Go ahead, Jess. I was like,
I'm gonna let you cook. I promise.
I mean, well, one thing I wanted to say too, we have to remember that heart disease is like the top killer of Black women. So we have to kind of consider that when we're dealing with health. And if you're dealing, it should be definitely for yourself, because I feel like whether you're with someone or not, that is your biggest, it gives you more push and all that when you're doing something for yourself. And then in extension, it's going to, satisfy your partner. Right. Of course. But I definitely think, stay in shape, discipline with your diet and everything. Like, I'm vegetarian, so that's just what it is. I didn't have to worry about too much with certain things, as well as being in the gym and staying fit. Like, it's not a problem.
How long?
Listen, medium man.
Oh, say it again.
No, I was gonna say, every time Jess comes to my house, I have a cookout. I always gotta have them veggie burgers on deck for her.
The hot dogs, they did a big thing with the plant-based hot dogs.
But they're high in sodium too, so you have to be careful with that as well. Yeah. So you just have to do your research about your diet. That's all.
Yeah, Jess got money over there. It costs a lot of money to be veg.
Don't put them lies out
there. Mona, what's your thoughts? I know you be in there. What happened to you posting the pictures on your page? You in the gym?
I got to get back to my little memes when I had the T-Rex arms after arm day. I got to get back. But as a person who, when I went to college as a young woman and gained more than that freshman 15 and saw myself and was displeased with my appearance and did not get, first of all, didn't feel the best. And
Right.
when I started to really get into dating, I could tell that there was a difference. I place value on my fitness and health because that's for me. And I always knew that, you know, when I wanted to have children, I wanted to be at the healthiest weight possible.
Right.
And so now, having had 3 children, that I still prioritize that. Even after 14 years, going on 14 years of marriage, my health and my fitness, I don't play about that. I can put a lot of stuff I might play about, but that I'm very serious about. Do I fall off? Yeah, I do. But I'm always making that an effort. That should be a standard for women of all ages, but in particular 35 to 44, because we're going to experience some shift and decline. You know, it's a lot harder for me to lose weight than what it was 10, 15 years ago. But, you know, I think that for women, you definitely should do it for yourself. Men should not get with a woman who is not, you know, that's important to you and it's not important to her. I don't think you should waste your time and trying to pressure her about that. And I believe that, you know, you should do, you know, you don't necessarily have to go to the gym. I used to post videos where I would do like jump rope and just different things that you can do. You don't necessarily have to go to the gym. I don't believe that, but you should dedicate to yourself. You know, we spend more time on social media. You can dedicate 20 to 30 minutes a day for you, whether it's at the top of your day, middle, whatever. But that should not be an excuse just because you are 35 to 44, just because you may have a slower metabolism, just because you have whatever going on. Prioritize your health. If you're not physically disabled, that should not be a something that you should, you know, not as a non-negotiable for yourself, first and foremost. So yeah, that should be a part of your lifestyle. So that's all I gotta say about that.
Yeah, I agree. I'm gonna let nothing else to say on that. Chill. What up, though?
What's up, everybody? All right.
I know what you're gonna say. They don't need to be in shape. You good?
Definitely not.
You want those big backs?
Nah,
Big bag.
look, I will say this: they definitely need to be in shape. But you know, you as a man, when you're selecting somebody that you want that's in shape, you need to have a habit of being in the gym yourself. You know,
Yeah.
because your ability to be in the gym and your ability to be disciplined will rub off on her. That I've always found it a lot easier to have your traits and what you do to rub off on the person that you choose. Now, I've never been the type to go in the gym and find somebody that's already into it. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of, I like I said, when you meet women, sometimes women have a landing strip for you to imprint yourself on. I mean, you see a lot of women picking up video games because they've been with a lot of dusties who like to play video games. You know, need to be that guy.
Yeah, man, you gonna get them on you. Go ahead, man.
All right. And now you see them playing video games and doing a lot of stuff that men tend to do. So why not be that guy that's in the gym? Like Media Man. That brother's in the gym, man, cranking out.
Yeah.
And the women that you choose, if you're that disciplined, is going to rub off on her. You know, but I'm gonna leave my comments alone about the women that I found in the gym because I'm trying to be PG today. You know, I'm trying to be PG.
Thank you. Yes, chill.
Oh, man. It's funny.
Yeah.
I think GMT mentioned Big Back. You know, I get called Big Back every day. I get called Big Back by my other bodybuilding friends. We call each other fat every day. Just because. So it's like, what you eat? You went to McDonald's, you big back. I'm like, hey, shut up. Anyway, Professor, what you got on the topic, brother?
Well, great segue when you're talking about big backs. But anyway, listen. Great segue.
Oh my gosh.
I'm gonna tell y'all so. Whatever. I need a woman in shape because I need somebody that's gonna chase the ice cream truck. Listen. I know I'm a big dude. Look at me. It's okay. We can't be looking like we can't be looking like 00 when we walk to the play. I need number 10. So I need her to look like Beyonce and cook like Paula Deen. So that's what I need in my life. So I need a woman in shape. And I dated a woman like that. And she made sure I was in the gym. We stopped at a coffee shop and had cocoa and oatmeal. but we also worked out every day. And so that's when I was probably in the best shape of my life. I need to find her again. But yeah, I lost her somewhere. But yeah, so you know, I can't be with a girl my size. I mean, we're gonna be like a slip and slide. So yeah.
But look, that's what guys. I didn't know this was a
references.
thing until dudes start sending me clips from Kendra G's show where it would say, well, even obese women don't want obese men. You know what I mean? I didn't know that was a thing. I was like, okay.
They don't.
Men.
They will tell you. Adam and be like, you too big. Be like, well, baby, you big too.
Yeah.
Right. You're literally like, come on now.
But they want what they want.
Wow.
Women want what
Yeah,
they want.
everybody can want what they want.
Yeah.
Don't worry, Professor. Though there are those teddy bear lovers, though. That's all right.
Yeah, but
that's
but
a nice way
Jess,
to put it, Jess.
but Jess, let me explain something to you. I told you I have not seen my feet since the Obama administration, so I need to be able to see that again. If I can't see my feet, you know what else is not there. So I'm just saying, I gotta rely on Yelp reviews. So
Find that girl.
I need to lose some weight.
We're gonna get you right, Professor. We're gonna get
That's
you
why
right.
That's why I stay in church. That's why I
It's
stay in church.
okay.
Dante Bryan with the $2 super chat said yes, especially starting at 35. Let's see here. So aesthetics with the $5 super chat said, if you aren't in shape, you are invisible for a serious relationship. Okay. Let's see. The Black Reppin said $2 super chat said blame crab legs.
I have plans.
Bread.
You swollen ankles. I ain't gonna lie.
Oh, yeah.
They don't even like fill you up all the way though. Like,
Yeah,
I'm
you
glad
gotta
that
eat
you,
too
like-
many. It's just like, man. Tristan Smith, 999 super chat said, if I can't lift you, I can't love you. if you don't work out, we won't work out. That's cool.
Yes, it is. Yes.
Let's go.
Oh,
Damn, Tristan.
Tristan Smith, 999 super chat says, discipline and moderation are two things that cost absolutely nothing. You control what you put in your mouth. Wait, pause. Did I say pause? Okay.
Pause.
And you control whether you go to the gym after work or go home and watch Love Hip Hop. The reason why I'm saying pause because I got a couple dudes that never say anything until I say something that's
Yeah.
so I just got to make sure I'm keeping them off me. So pause. There we go. Okay. Marriage, politics,
come
and
out
sports.
a lot though.
Yeah. So Super Jet said, as long as a man stays in shape, he is within his rights to demand that his wife does the same. I don't know. Jail. All right. Make allowances for the kids. In any case, a man should not marry a woman who does not prioritize fitness in the first place. Yeah, and we are talking about. Yeah, we're talking about the shoulds today. So I understand that should, but is that actually happening? I would say no overall. So, but yeah, that's a good point. Dante Bryan, $2 super chat said, already know what Medium Man will say about motivation. Yeah, they know I don't care what you go to the gym for as long as you in there. So Matthew Pearson, $2 said, conceded MRT, let's go. No squat videos. I know. See,
that's why I'm like, I can't do nothing. I'm gonna have to make sure the camera like way back.
Yeah, you can't be doing, this is arm day and then it's like a back shot. I'm like, wait. It's gonna be arm day.
Hey, those views will be there.
Yeah, and the views, it's so funny. I see the women doing that. And you can't fault them. Like, the watching, even the dudes that go on there, is your mother happy about you? I'm like, brother, she don't care. Really.
Right.
H-back man. My guy, $5 super chat said, big backs with 250,000 miles on them. Just spit out my drink. 250,000 miles.
Yeah.
So, I'm pretty sure y'all knew the outcome of this. 95% looks like said yes, they should be in shape. So
I saw Tristan said, "Who said no?" He said,
yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, and that was the highest vote. It was 73 votes. 5% said
5%.
no. So
5%,
hey,
I would like to know.
Yeah,
not for real though. Seriously.
This became a member for 1 month. Once again, lately I've been splitting meals with my wife. Oh, okay, cool. Portion sizes, We talked about that,
Yes.
brother.
Mhm.
Thank you, brother.
And-
Appreciate it. Good to see Reese
and
back
also-
in the building. Go ahead, Jess.
Can I also say, like, no dieting? Like, dieting is ridiculous. Do a lifestyle change.
Right.
Dieting,
Right.
you're always gonna you're gonna reach your goal and then you're gonna go right back to your old lifestyle, and then it just makes no sense. Lifestyle change, put in your head, move forward.
Lifestyle change. Y'all, I mean, you Jess, you and MRT, you a vegetarian, you in the gym, MRT. I mean, y'all don't see nothing
MRT, you
collab
vegetarian?
going on?
Oh,
No, just y'all too. She in the gym and
Oh.
you vegetarian. That could be a cold collab, you know?
Yeah, no, actually it could, because you can give the the actual facts behind like eating and the
Yeah.
carbs and what's in it, the breakdown.
Yeah, someone
Yeah,
mentioned
it's a lot
crab
of
legs.
people
I
that
call
wanna
those
know.
bottom feeders.
Oh, the bottom feeders, crab legs. It's so good though.
It's so good. Yeah, you ain't lying. It's tough in Houston, man. Everywhere you HEB, they already have the bags ready for you. Before you even go to
Oh,
the
wow.
store, they have like their own little shack where if you wanted to buy like a boil, it's already seasoned and it's ready to go. It's crazy out here, man. They be trying to make you big backs out here. They do their best. I promise you, they do their best. So to try and make sure that you big. But something's wrong with my preview page, but I do have the video still. So I'm gonna just go ahead and play the video first before we move into the conversation. So this is probably the last somewhat boring one, I would say. Then we got a video that's probably going to trigger the chat, but it's going to be good. But this next one is definitely an important topic because we hear this all the time. So yeah, so guys, ladies, pay attention. Here we go. Should black men expect black women to have a college degree? In 2022, the college enrollment rate for 18 to 24-year-olds was 61% for Asians, 41% for white, 36% for two or more races and black, 33% for Hispanic, 27% for Pacific Islander, and 26% for American Indian/Alaska Native. In 2023, the NCES reported the following degrees conferred by race and ethnicity and sex. Associate's degrees, 367,000 for men, 622,000 for women. Bachelor's degrees, 786,000 for men and 1.1 million for women. Master's degrees, 267,000 for men, 496,000 for women. Doctorate degrees, 72,000 for men and 105,000 for women. In 2021, a higher percentage of African American women, 33%, were enrolled in college compared to white men, 25%. White women, 31%, Hispanic men, 19%, Hispanic women, 24%, and black men at 23%. Also, by 2021, 28% of African American women aged 25 and older had a bachelor's degree or higher. This was a big increase of 40% from the 20% in 2010. However, black women still had fewer bachelor's degrees or higher compared to white men, 38%, and white women, 40%. In 2021, 23% of African American men went to college, which was the same percentage as in 2010. Additionally, 22% of black men had a bachelor's degree or higher in 2021, which was a 48% increase from 2010, when only 16% had such degrees. Fast forwarding to 2022, 26% of black adults aged 25 and older had a bachelor's degree, which is up from 14% in the year 2000. However, this is still 10% lower than the national average of 32.9%. Black women have made faster progress than black men in this area, with 28.9% of black women earning a bachelor's degree in 2022 compared to 22.8% of black men. Right. Was any of that information shocking to anybody? No. So yeah, so the narrative that I hear on social media is, I guess the negatives that I hear when we discuss black men and degrees, the black community is under the impression that black men have the lowest amount of degrees amongst the top four racial categories. That's not true. So we're right there with black women, 28% and 22%. And then you have Hispanic women and Hispanic men below black men and black women. So we fall right in the middle. However, every group of women earns more degrees than their male counterparts. So, and also another point that I wanted to acknowledge is the most enrolled thing. That's that gets misconstrued into most educated. So yes, black women are the most enrolled, as you guys seen with the statistics. However, if you say most educated based off of the amount of degrees that they hold, then that would go to white men and women. Does that make sense? So I just want to clear that up because I know the conversation is centered around that. So GMT, I'm pretty sure you heard this before, so I'll let you cook.
Oh yeah. As I said, I'm an avid watcher of you, man. So I already know, But should we expect it? I would say it really depends on what you want as a man. My expectations, like I said, for me, it wasn't important that my wife had a degree.
Mm-hmm.
The reason why was because I knew, where I wanted to go in life. So I knew I was looking for different life skills from my wife. But I will say it could be profitable for the family, right? Especially if your wife has a degree in something that could be beneficial to the family. So she don't got like a basket weaving degree or some type of social, whatever type of degree that has nothing to do with helping you in any type of way or the bottom line for the family. And then she's probably not going to want to even be in that career within the next 5 years. So that's where I'm like, okay, how is your degree going to help me? And I think that's something that men should look at. What would her having that degree do for you? And the family had children and all of that become involved.
Yeah, it's useful. The degree is useful to the family. So yeah, I definitely agree. I put the poll up there, so we'll see what the guys have to say. But MRT, what's your thoughts on that? Should black women have a degree? And you can probably add more context to it. I know I was rather vanilla on the question, but yeah, you can add context as to why they should or shouldn't have a degree between the ages of 35 to 44 based off of the information. If we know that 28% of black women over the age of 25 hold degrees, a bachelor's degree or higher, then I mean that's a small amount compared to the majority. So yeah, so this is definitely up to you.
I would say it really depends on what you want to do, because I personally think that college is necessary if you want to be like a doctor, a teacher, or a scientist. I think stuff like that where like you literally need a degree to excel. I think those things are more beneficial when it comes to like a degree, but anything else, I wouldn't really say is relevant just because of how is it advantageous as far as like how much you can get how you can get information these days. It's almost in so many different areas. You don't really need to go to school to be educated. You can be self-educated and kind of move forward in that realm. So it just depends on what it is you want to major in. So it's kind of like what GMT said, like how relevant is it going to be to the family? But if it's not outside those things I named, as far as like doctor or teacher or whatever, something of that sort, I don't really think it's necessary regardless. Or a lawyer or something like that. Like you can't get around it, Yeah,
I agree. Jess?
Yeah, so I know a lot of people start off with the toxic view first, but I look at when you get together with someone that you're now a unit. So I feel that whatever you do should be reflected on each other, on that family and everything. So just like how MRT said, especially if it's someone that goes after certain degrees, then fine, if that's that person, because remember, women are not a monolith. So there are going to be some women who that's their thing and some who are not. If you're not into that, don't get with her. But other than that, if she gets a degree and it's not one of those that let it get to her head or whatever, and it's kind of to the future to better herself, because not everyone gets married as well, so it still may be a help to her for whatever she wants to do. But then if she is together, make sure that you're coming together as a unit, because I know a woman who is finance was her major, and I'm sure that she gets with someone, let's say sometimes the men are not financially literate, but if you're looking at it as a unit, y'all are working together and to better that family as much as possible. So however she can contribute. So if that's That,
Do,
you know,
do
that's
you
I guess
think? Do
that's
you think that level of utility is in a black woman's head when she's going to college?
I
Like, is
don't
she
think
thinking about that? Should I go to? Should I get a degree in a career that would be useful to my future husband? Is that a thought process? Do you believe?
I mean, if you're minded, that should be. But I mean, I like looking at generally what we see around us. I doubt that a lot of black women, especially, they're kind of taught to be about independence more than actually looking for, how would this aid in a future with your partner, with your
Makes sense.
person.
You know, and while we here, I'm gonna sneak this conversation or this super chat in here for MRT and Jess, since y'all were the first ladies to go, and I'll let Mona, you can join in and ask as well. Dante Bryant in our super chat said, "Nope, that's taken away from your fertile years." And I think I read somewhere that 40% of y'all come out with someone else's child, and I'm not dealing with it. And yeah, that's actually true. You learned that here. So it was on American Association of University Women's. They cited that 40% of black women who are attending college have a child. So, and that affects them as well. So did any other ladies want to respond to that? It's taken away from your fertile years if you go to college.
But aren't we focusing on 35 to 44? So odds
Yeah.
are by that time you have that degree already, if I'm not mistaken. So I mean, yes, he's probably talking about when they're younger, and when you're younger, of course, that's the whole point. If you're marriage minded, you have to make sure that it's not taking over or consuming and taking away from your family.
Mona?
So I can say when I met my husband, I was still in college. I hadn't even finished yet. And I actually pursued my master's degree, and we were married at that time. And I actually took some time away because it was becoming a little bit too much for me. And I do want to say too, that when I'm thinking about a lot of the conversations that Kevin would have with these women about, well, how much would you like to contribute to the household? And when the question that was just posed about, do women think about what that's going to look like? And I think that if you are going to go to school and you are intentional about that, you should be thinking about what that's going to look like for you. Because are you going to school to waste your time and money when you don't really want to pursue your career and provide and contribute to the household? Or would you rather go the alternate route, which is I'll just pick up a trade or I'll do something else where I can take care of myself and gain some skills along the way. And then I can either go to school or, whatever it is that my husband and I decide. I think that, that could be the conversation. And it is how women, in my opinion, should be thinking, especially if they want to have a family. But we know the reality is that we do not think like that. I do think that if you are going to go to school, it should be for something that is lucrative. It should not be for what we like to call it for basketball.
What you want to do.
And we're going to, acquire all of this debt, and we have nothing tangible to show for it besides us having to pick up 2 or 3 extra jobs just to pay off the said debt, and we have nothing to show for it. And again, expecting that if you're going to get with a man that's marriage minded, he has to pick up the slack in regard to that, and you still don't want to go and do anything. So I think that you really do think you got to think long term, and we typically don't think that. But to also go back, I don't necessarily believe that you have to it's a hard and fast rule. You have had to go. I am pro women going to college, but I'm also for women having something under their belt where they can take care of themselves. They can go to school, get a trade, whatever it is that they want to do related to their interests. But can you take care of yourself and your family with whatever you're doing, if that is the plan moving forward?
Right.
Absolutely
Anyway,
agree with that.
Ash?
No, I don't think that it should be mandatory. Because there are a lot of women business owners out there. So if you're a business owner, you make your own money, you don't work for no one, there's no point in having no degree or certification or like that. But if you are like a career-driven woman, then I do believe that you should have like the top degree, top certification within your field. Because if not, then you're not really maximizing your full potential. So it's like it depends on what the woman is doing. And then also her plans, like when she gets married. Well, no, 35 to 44. If you're not married and you don't have you should have like the maximum level in your career field, unless what you do for a living doesn't require a piece of paper.
Right. And I agree, but I will say this, Ash, one of the biggest issues I think that we have in the Black community is that our women still haven't figured out how to do both at the same time. You want to, get a degree and also be a wife. Other races of women, they get married at younger ages than our women. So they're kind of able to do both. So I think the mindset of a lot of our women is that I'm going to go to college first. And that could either be 6 years or 8 years, depending on whatever you're trying to go for. And then once you get out of college, you want to cultivate your career. You get into the career for another 3 to 5 years. And then once you get settled, now it's like, now I want to get married and be a housewife. And I don't want to work in this career that I spent 8 to 10 years in school for. And I think that's one of the biggest issues that a lot of men are, complaining about. Like, man, how you gonna do all this work and then you just gonna throw it away? Now you got college debt, so on and so forth, and then a high likelihood that you may have a child. So yes, it's a lot that goes on to. I'm pro degree all the way, but I do see the issues that come with it in regards to the debt. And I discussed this in the most recent video that it's good to have a degree, but if you have plans on being a wife, you may be taking out some valuable years, off the market. So that point, I agree with Dante Bryan. I also agree with you, Ash, as well. So yeah, this is good. Chill.
Oh
man.
Yeah. All right. Okay. So look, check this out, man. I'm just gonna be honest. When it comes to college degrees, I don't knock it. I really don't. And with the age bracket that we set, what is it? 35 to what?
44.
35 to 44. I'm sizing you up. If you tell me you got 2 master's degrees and all that stuff, yeah, baby, how much debt you got?
Man.
Dollars make sense. And if you got a whole heap of debt, whoo, ladies, I'm gonna be honest. If I meet you and you got master's degrees and you up on a whole lot of debt, it ain't no marriage. It's just gonna be a lot of short-term gratification.
That's a great way to put it. Short-term gratification.
Yeah, that's a great, yeah.
Professor, my bad, brother. I was supposed to go to you first. I got you next time. It's on you.
Oh no, I mean, I know some people call it single serve relationships.
Yep, that would be me.
No, but no, I appreciate degrees. My ex had a master's. The one before her had a doctorate. But you're right. They do. Some of them do come with the debt, and it doesn't matter the level of education you have if your education is not in a field that's going to produce enough income for you to survive. But in addition to that, like I agree with what GMT said, what does your education, what does your level of degree bring to the table for me? But I like a woman with an education. I mean, I have a college down the street from me. That's where I pick a lot of my young ladies up from. So I appreciate a college being there. But no, in all seriousness, but I do like a woman with education, because sometimes I do like to have conversations about things and I need someone that's more educated to have those conversations.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Let's see here. Man, so let's go to this chat. I know these brothers was waiting on this one. So they said no. From what I gather, hold on, it's popping up. It says 60% of the guys said no, they shouldn't have a degree by 35 to 44. And I'm pretty sure it's for the reasons that we mentioned in regards to taking themselves off of the dating/marriage market for that extended period of time. So that I think the difference, I mean, we would have to figure out a way to do both at the same time. But we have to stop that cultural stigma where independent, get a degree, and then I'll figure out finding a man later on. That's very tough. It's a very tough way to go about this these conversations and moving forward. But we do have some super chats here from Tristan Smith. He says, the 999 super chat, he says, I think I speak for most men. We are okay if you have a degree, advanced degree, etc. If you aren't using said degree to produce income for the household, what the F does it even matter? And I think a bunch of you guys touched on that. So what's going on? IQS with the $5 super chat said the only degree I need from a woman is a degree in being a wife and being a mother. Everything else is a bonus. Okay, I think that goes to the point of trying to do both. So if you got a degree, yeah. See, Tristan Smith again, 999 super chat. He said, if a woman isn't using her degree for the benefit of the household, she better not have any student loan debt for that degree. And 2, it's not even relevant. So, and I think I addressed this in one of my most recent videos where my applause, so to speak, for women having degrees was kind of skewed because all of the examples that I had were from women that were in the military. You know, and you know, we have, you know, tuition assistance, Montgomery, GI Bill, so on and so forth. So they don't have student debt that comes with it. So I think that's why I kept saying, yeah, I love, you know, when women have degrees, but on the outside, a lot of women have college debt. And that's a, you know, huge, you know, deal breaker for a lot of men these days because the conversation is being had. And now men like Chill, so yeah, I'm asking how much debt you got. You know, that's important.
You damn right.
That's
They're gonna look at you to put the bill. You know,
Yeah.
Hey,
100%.
come on now.
You get married, that bill is on you.
Yeah, it's a wrap.
There's so many ways around the debt too now though. Like, you know, there's so many
No, go ahead.
without having debt. There's a lot of things that offer free, going to college for free and everything like that. I mean, I came from New York and I know they started that not too long ago, and you just have to apply. So, I mean, you gotta, and then, you know, instead of going to the big names, sometimes go to a community. If it has what meets you need, you know, you gotta make wise choices with how you move.
Fellas in the chat, how many women you know found out there who, you know, don't have any college debt and they got degrees? You know, I don't know many ladies who done went to college for free. I'm not saying they don't exist, but we just not meeting them. Everybody got debt.
I mean, that could be a topic. So for one of your shows,
yeah,
give them the game.
I know one. My ex didn't have any debt, but she used to work for the government for 5 years, and so I got taken care of.
Right. Yeah. My ex-wife did the same thing. Well, she had to work for the government for like 10 years. You know what I'm saying? In order to get not all of it, but she's still under some debt even today. You know, I got a message from her not too long ago. That look, she's still talking to me, y'all. I think she's trying to get that old thing back.
Split the block.
Chill, we gotta get the details on this. Chill, we need
right. Yeah, she wanted toxic.
I don't give her my phone
she
number.
want that old thing back.
That whole thing.
Yeah, because inflation kicking that old ass. That's why.
Not old ass. Chill. Details after the show. Details.
So the job where I work, they actually pay for credits. You know, I mean, like, you know, they cover credits for you. So there are ways to be smart about it rather than, you know, occurring, you know, more debt.
Yeah. And then I've heard that no job, you can actually negotiate that as well. Some jobs will pay for a full degree plan if you stay there long enough. So yeah, it's ways out there. D320KG with the 199 super chat. Pew Research 2015 married degree women last longer. Yeah, and that was actually updated in 2022. Yeah, it's actually true. Women with degrees, their marriages last longer because it has a lot to do with earnings as well. So you earn more money when you marry, put them together. It is what it is. But yeah, that's actually true. So, all right. So like I said, we're going to get it. This one is going to be good. All right. Because of the fact. Go ahead.
I think Ash is backstage.
Oh, no, my bad. Let me see. Let's see here. Okay, y'all see me now. Let me see. Is she? Okay, you good. Okay. Can you wait? Everything good? She got to unmute.
Yes. It had froze, so I left and came back.
Oh, okay. My bad. Thank you, GMT. I appreciate it, brother. No problem. All right. I'm glad you're here. We need everybody for this one. So this next question and conversation, how do I want to do this?
Oh,
I'm going to play.
I'm scared.
Yes, I'm going to play the supporting videos first about this topic. And then I'll give the stats after you guys give your insight. So the question that we're going to be discussing is should black men expect black women to go 50-50?
Oh, y'all about to meet the real. I'm so chill now.
Yeah.
Dun,
And
dun,
this is going to be
dun.
a great, this is going to be good because I know the chat, this is a spirited conversation on social media. So again, I'm going to play the supporting video first, and it's going to explain a couple things, and then we're going to play the statistical video after we all give our insights. And this time I'm going to start with the guys first, and I'm going to go to Professor after we watch. I'm going to stop in between. I think I got 3 videos linked into this. So yeah, so be prepared. First one is explaining hypergamy. Here we go.
Her hypergamy is her instinctual urge to find the best mate possible. Now, the best way to describe hypergamy is through a tree. Actually, it should be more like a triangle, but for now, we'll just use this as a tree. We'll call it the hypergamy tree. And basically, at the top of your tree, you're going to have your higher tier males. And at the bottom end, you're going to have your lower tier males. And as to be expected, the middle, your average tier males, or your average males. Now, female attraction works like this. Basically, females most want the guys at the top end of the tree. So at the very, very top of the tree, they are most attracted to these men. So right here, we're going to give them 5 fucking hearts, and they are the most sought after men. And average tier males would be the next. They're the next most sought after, so they're going to give them 3 hearts. And if you're at the bottom end of the tree, you actually get 0 hearts. You're actually fucking invisible. The only way to go from the bottom end of the tree to the top end of the tree is to increase your value. And there's only 3 ways to increase your value. And then the first one is through wealth, and that is your resources, what you can provide to her. Women look at this in the form of security. Can you provide for their offspring? Can you provide for her, etc.? The second way to increase your value is through your physique. And physique not only refers to, are you buff, are you 6'5", are you 220 pounds of all muscle? It also refers to your health and your well-being. You can't get girls if you have cancer, sorry to say. The last one is your social status. And it's where you stand within everyone else. Are you respected? Do other people want you, etc.? Things of this nature. And we kind of briefly talked about this. So when the woman is basically shit testing you, or when a girl is shit testing you, she's determining where you fit on this tree in regards to everyone else, in regards to social status, etc. And she's only testing for your social status. Remember, hypergamy is her ability to secure the best mate possible. So she's determining that.
All right. So pretty simple, straightforward. Oh, wait, I'm asked out. There we go. Okay. So it's pretty simple, straightforward conversation, right? We understand hypergamy, and that's why I put that in there, because we're about to have a 50-50 conversation, right? Mm-hmm. So everybody understand, the premise, hypergamy, or do I need to explain 50-50?
Nope.
Okay. Let's get to it. And again, now this next video is funny because I've seen a lot of level up women share this video of the late great Kevin Samuels, and they always stop it at before he says something very key. And I want to see if you guys can catch this in regards to a man paying 50-50, et cetera, et cetera. So we're going to watch the full video of what Kevin has to say, and let me know if you guys can catch a key point that a lot of women miss in regards to what he says. This is going to be funny. I promise you. Where'd it go? Hold on. Let me see. Oh, I like that. Let's leave it here. Here we go.
But you don't want to put the work in. You don't want to build the resume. You don't want to actually have it where it counts to have the real leverage. You want her to respect your masculinity and your manhood because you have a penis and an XY chromosome. It don't work that way. Women respect resources. You can't check a bitch because you got nothing to check with. The only place you dominate is in the bedroom. Dominate on the balance sheet. Dominate on your wallet, which is your accomplishments. Any woman that you choose to deal with, her money should be no good with you if you're 100% man. Mm-hmm. You pay everything. Why? Because it keeps her in her feminine when she's with you. I don't give a shit. The women I deal with, they know I don't care what you do when you're not with me. Well, you don't even tell you about the guy. I don't care. All I care is how you operate when you're here. Will that be the way it is always? No. Eventually, I'm going to pick one. I don't want a rotation for the rest of my life. Pick one, maybe two.
Yeah.
All right. So let me stop it right there. Now, did you guys catch what he actually said in regards to in that video?
What?
Oh,
pick
yeah.
one, maybe
Picking
two.
one, maybe two. Yeah, that's
Okay, so at the end, okay, I get that one, but
okay.
what I noticed with these level up conversations or channels such as like Sheba Seven's ladies, they'll play that Kevin Samuels video and they'll stop it at "you pay everything," and it, oh, Kevin Samuels, oh, I love it, but they failed to play the full video where he actually said, "You pay everything. The man pays everything when you're with me," meaning that when you're not dealing with me for that weekend, I'm not paying your bills. I'm not paying your rent. Just when you're here, your money is no good. Where else have you heard that from, guys in the chat? Me. So I told you guys that multiple times. And women, they miss that part of that because they don't want to hear it. Yes, when you with me, you can leave your purse at home because everything is going to be taken care of. But as soon as you leave, you're not my problem no more. But they miss that part and they just say, you pay everything. Woo! It's like, yeah. But we'll stop right there before we get to that crazy ladies post. But Professor, and I will get you GMT. I owe Professor one, my bad, brother. Yeah, man. Professor, what's your thoughts?
Chill's gonna hate me on this one. So I'm gonna go ahead and get the dustpan ready for myself. But no, I don't believe in 50-50. I do believe in percentages. If I make 100, she makes 50, there's no reason we should be 50-50. That should be a percentage based of how much we're paying. And it all basically always depends on who your situation. But I've never had issues with women in regards to dating. I've always taken care of everything for dates, things of that sort. But a woman has also spent money on me with sometimes it's trips, sometimes it's this, that, and the other. But in a marriage, I believe this is only a conversation in this community. Other races of people don't necessarily have this conversation because Maria's selling flowers and Jose's building houses. Right. So it's only a conversation in our community. And the only way that this is going to first of all, it needs to go away, because what happens is when there's two incomes together, now we can build. And as we're building, we can save money apart and then go start investing in other things. And then at some point we can sit you down. Right. So then you're not working, but women have worked for years. The oldest profession of all time, we all know what that is a 304. So I'm all about percentages of what you make, not necessarily 50-50, but percentages. And I actually got that from talking to a couple millionaire people who that's how their household runs. They make multiple six figures and their wife still works and contributes to the household.
It's good points. GMT.
I'm in alliance with Professor, right? The way I look at it is like I have to look at my lifestyle to begin with. And the way I started, this is just me being transparent. The way I started was my wife and I had to work, right? She worked, I worked. It wasn't until I continued to build myself up. Now, my wife is a stay-at-home wife, right? But we only have those dynamics because we have a child. But with that being said, it's because I didn't want the world to raise my child with their values. I wanted that to happen for us. So I put myself in a position to where I could make her a stay-at-home wife. So our child could be raised with the values that we have. But in today's market, realistically, women have to put a percentage in. Now, I do believe Kevin Samuels was talking about dating. In dating, if you're dating, when you're with me, I'll pay the bill. I'm good. We go out on dates and I'll take care of, everything. And when you're not with me, don't ask me for nothing.
Yeah.
You're good. You know what I'm saying? Figure it out, because you should be bringing in your own for whenever you're with me. But when you're courting a woman for marriage, and you know that you're taking it serious, y'all taking it to the next level, you got to build yourself up as a man. That's what I truly believe.
Right. Yeah. And like I said, They always cut that part off. I found it hilarious. I found 3 videos from those pages and they had the same thing. But chill, I know you wait, brother. Go ahead. You got it.
Oh, wait. There's something about this that just burned my button, man. When they be saying Ling Ling and Marisol and all them, they talk about it too. Hypergamy is across the board, baby. Okay. They leaving them 50-50 dudes just like our sister leaving the 50-50 dudes over here. So let's not get it twisted. Okay. Hypergamy is across the board. Hell, ask some of the Passport brothers. They found it out too. They went over there. Boy, they're getting lit up. That 50-50
So glad they are. So glad.
Eddie.
All right, but look, listen. Ooh, I get it. Fellas who are with the 50-50, let me tell you something. Society is going to make y'all great again. All right? Inflation is going to make y'all great again by default anyway. So pretty soon, a lot of people are going to go to that 50-50 thing because they can't survive without it. Now, do I agree with it? Yeah. Fellas, I've always been a proponent and you have to have the leverage. When you have the leverage, you can make the rules, you know? And usually when the 50-50 thing happens, I get it. It does help. It does alleviate the pressure from both parties. But she, as a woman, she's going to look at you and be like, well, my 50 is greater, even when it's not. Listen, fellas, you need to understand something. Until that time does come to where women say, you know what, I can't do nothing but the 50-50, you better make sure you got the leverage. All right, I'm going to land my plane right there. You've been warned.
That's it? That's it, you?
Right. I was waiting for the Cajun seasoning.
I'm trying to be cool, man. I got
Okay.
So let's get with the ladies now. Let's get with the ladies. Ash, what's your thought on this topic?
Well, in dating, no, I don't think it should be 50-50 at all in dating, because that's when the man is trying to court the woman. He's trying to impress her. He's trying to let her know, hey, I got you. I can provide for you. I'm a man. I can do what it takes. We're doing 50-50. It lets me know that you can't. You don't got me. You can't do what it takes. So, like, why would I want to be with that person who doesn't have what it takes, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, you're already proving it to me, you know? When it comes to marriage, a household, such a sticky conversation. No, I don't think the household should be 50-50 either. And that's just my opinion. I know everybody thinks different. And even with the way the economy is, yes, I believe a woman should contribute financially in some way, right? You know, if that's what the partnership agrees on, the marriage, that's like the grounds of the marriage, right? I never aspired to, like, I don't want to say work hard, but like match my future husband financially, right? I have a more of a traditional mindset when it comes to the roles of the man and the woman. And I don't believe a woman could fulfill her roles as a wife while she's also working hard to make sure she brings home her end of the bacon, right? So no, I don't think it should be 50-50 in dating or in marriage.
So curious, and thank you, GMT. Curious your thoughts real quick before we move to Mona D. Do you think, just real quick, do you think the majority of married women are, let's say, in 50-50 relationships? Yes, I mean, like, do you think most of them are contributing, or are most of them stay-at-home moms?
Contributing. Straight down the middle, 50-50? No.
Oh, okay. No. Okay. Mona D?
All right. So I'm going to say this, and you actually will segue into my point, because we know only 25% of women are stay-at-home mothers. So we know that whether it's all throughout their time or for a period. And I was a stay-at-home mother for like 6 years. And my perspective is this: as someone who married young with my husband, and we had a clear understanding about, hey, you're going to stay home. And, you know, I didn't have to quote unquote pay during that time. But even when we were dating, yes, my husband paid for the majority of things, but did I come out of pocket? Absolutely, because I was working, and there might have been times when I wanted to just, hey, I want to go here, let's go here, whatever. That was no problem. I don't have anything against men who can afford 100%. I think that's fine. The same way I don't have any problem for women who saying, hey, I only want to be in a provider only relationship. But for me personally, I don't think I have any problem with 50-50. And I actually believe in 100-100 because in my perspective, when you have both parties working and contributing to the household, that's actually better for everybody, both physically and mentally. My husband and I, we're almost down the middle when it comes to the rearing of our children, household chores, and all of that. I like that. That works for me. And my husband may be a little more involved with the kids than I am on a lot of levels, whether it's doctor's appointments, things at the school, all of that. I don't pick roles and jobs where I'm like out of the home a lot. I'm very particular about the job. If I have a job and it's too stressful for me, my husband will say, you're not taking that job. We're going to figure out something else, or you just may not work. But in general, I don't believe that women should not contribute to the home, period. I think you're going to contribute in some way, form, or fashion. Do I think a woman's may I have periods where she's not contributing? Absolutely. And I also think that when you are in a marriage, you need to understand that there will be times where you may be the only person as the wife working and contributing. It should not be the expectation for the entire duration, but understand that there may be a point in time, and it may not even be an if, it could be a when, especially in the climate of today's economy and things like that. So I think we need to, and we should be open to that. That's definitely a possibility. But I don't think that people should not, go for what they want, but also understand what could come with that no matter which way you decide to go. But I don't think women should get out of not financially contributing anything, especially if you want to live a certain type of way. And that's just my opinion about it.
Right. Yeah. Jess?
Yeah, so I actually a little bit of everyone in a sense, because it's so subjective. And it's subjective because of this. To me, if you are in the top tier, okay, fine. If you don't want her to pay for anything, okay, that makes 100%, it makes sense. Now, a lot of our men do not rank in the top tier, though, if we really be honest. So if they're in the mid tier, you have to understand with the way that the economy is, we have to kind of, remember, I also said when you're talking about marriage, I talk about a unit as much as possible. So if we're not going to be struggling if we're together. So if she has to work, and depending on how the economy is, where you're living, if you're in New York, both of y'all have to work. So that's why I said it's subjective. So depending on what the situation is, then I understand that. I understand it. Of course, I have traditional values. So my mind goes to a man being a provider, but then also with the realities of what is going on now.
Okay. So I got a question for you. So you said we understand that a lot of black men aren't in the top tier, right? Do you think that black women understand that as well when we have these discussions about 50-50?
Of course not. If they're always talking about 100K and all that other
Yeah,
stuff, come on,
right.
we hear them. Like they're unrealistic.
Just asking, because I don't think they understand.
No, that's the thing. Reality got to hit some people's heads.
Yeah.
No.
But all right. So this is what we're gonna do next. We're gonna end it with this lady's video. She be saying some wild stuff, and then we're gonna go directly into the actual statistics in regards to what the 50-50 dynamics look like in the black community and also with other races. And it may shock you, and this may be a turning point in these. Go ahead. Did I didn't get you, MRT?
No.
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry. Who else?
No, I think that was everybody.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I just wanted to chime in on this part because, I literally was talking about this again with someone today. So since I am getting older, I'm trying to put a little bit more. I don't want to say pressure on the man, but just letting him know this is what I need, and you need to go. You need to meet these standards on this list. But for me, though, okay, dating, I believe, yes, 100%. Okay, I'm not going to say it. Let me take that back. I believe dating, you should be paying for a majority of everything. Majority. I do believe that once I see your consistency and I feel like there's progress being made, I don't mind chiming in some type of way. It could be parking, it could be a movie, it could be whatever it is we're going to do. And that's kind of like how I like to handle it along the way. And I would expect that the same way in my marriage. You are primarily taking care of everything. And if there's any gaps of where you could possibly fall short, I'm 100% right there. What is it called in football? Is it your quarterback? Whoever is supposed to catch the ball when you throw them out there. Whoever makes the touchdown and makes the team win, that's who I am. So I'm there to support in that type of way. But I do believe 100% majority of everything should be taken care of. I shouldn't have to worry about if your card gonna decline.
Okay. So when you say in a relationship they should be taking care of the majority of everything, are you talking about dates? Are you talking about bills?
No, dates.
Okay.
No.
We gotta
The
make
date.
that clear nowadays.
Right.
Yeah, I know the chat. They be like, "Well, I'm paying your bills."
Yeah, I don't know if it's a good or bad thing about me, but I personally don't. I've never been the one to look for someone to pay my bills and to give me this, or look for someone to ask for all this money. No, I do pretty well. Like, I'm okay. I don't need all that stuff to be happy or to have a good time. Like, I'm not. Yeah, nah.
All right, just make it clear. So, all right, so. Like I said, we're going to go to this lady's video, and it's a great segue into the statistics. So this is what she thinks, I guess, about the Black community in 50-50, and then we'll go to the statistics. So here we go.
I would like to present to you a verbal flowchart, if you will. If we agree on one part of the argument, we can then move on to the next part of the argument. First part, I think it would be hard-pressed to find two people who are exactly evenly yoked when it comes to, how much they make, or their finances, or what they're worth, or their educational background, or their status in life, right? Probably would be hard to find two people who are exactly evenly yoked. We can agree on that. Moving on. So if they're not exactly evenly yoked, somebody is going to be dating up, and then the other party will be dating down, because again, they're not equal. Can we agree on that? Moving on. So since historically women have been the ones who dated up, and if either one of these parties, male or female, are going to be dating up, I mean, come on, let's just be real. It should be the woman, right? Can we agree on that? That's probably going to get a lot of y'all, but I'm just going by history. It is what it is. So moving on, if we can agree that I would rather it be the woman dating up than the man, that means the man has to conversely date down. Like, and here I go with the Black. I don't give a dang. I said what I said. When I mention Black people, I don't shy away from that. Black people seem to be the only community where it's like looked down upon for a woman to want to date up. That's weird. I don't really care what y'all say. I'm going with the rest of the world. I'm a woman. I'm dating up. Men are conversely going to be dating down. What y'all think about that?
All right. So she's under the impression that Black men are opposed to Black women dating down, and no other races are having this discussion, right? And this is a common misconception that we hear in these spaces all the time. And the reason why it's a common misconception is because here are the actual statistics in regards to how marriages are actually shake out, right? And I think these conversations would definitely help. But here we go. Should Black men expect Black women to go 50-50? An article written by the magazine Word in Black indicates that Black women are more likely to be breadwinners, and they also say that's not a bad thing. Access to higher education has helped married Black women become breadwinners. Experts say it can help uplift the Black family. What that actually means and what that study is based off of is a Pew Research article that was published in 2023. Pew found that 1 in 4 Black wives out-earned their husbands. And according to Pew's survey and analysis of existing government data, Black women are more likely than any other ethnic group to be in marriages where they're the breadwinner or in an egalitarian marriage, 50-50. Of marriages where the wife is Black, the husband is the main source of income 40% of the time. The wife is a main source of income 26% of the time, and 34% are egalitarian or 50-50. So when you add wife is a primary breadwinner and egalitarian marriages, that comes out to 60% to Black men's 40%. However, when you add the 40% to 34%, Black men are leading at a 74% clip. Furthermore, according to Pew Research in 2022, in egalitarian 50-50 marriages, average number of hours spent on these duties each week vary from husband to wife. Paid work: men 44.2 hours per week, women 41.1 hours per week. That's a 3.1 hour difference in favor of men. Leisure time: men 25.2 hours per week, women 21.6 hours per week. That's a 3.6 hour difference in favor of men. Caregiving: men 5.1 hours per week, women 6.9 hours per week. That's a 1.8 hour difference in favor of women. Housework: men 1.9 hours per week, women 4.6 hours per week. That's a 2.7 hour difference in favor of women. To further break down egalitarian marriages, wives and husbands tend to earn about $60,000 each. Here are the median annual earnings of wives and husbands across marriage types in 2022, according to the Pew Research Center. In all marriages, the wife tends to make $35,000 as opposed to the husband's $65,000. When the wife is the sole provider, she earns $45,000. When the wife is the primary provider, she earns $88,000 as opposed to the man $35,000. In egalitarian marriages, the wife earns $60,000. The husband, $62,000. When the husband is the primary provider, the wife earns $30,000. The husband, $96,000. When the husband is the sole provider, he earns $70,000. And those numbers coincide with the greater share of dads that are stay-at-home parents today than 30 years ago. In 1989, 4% of fathers were stay-at-home dads. All parents, 17%. Mothers, 28%. Fast forward to 2021, 26% of women are stay-at-home mothers, 18% are stay-at-home parents, and 7% of fathers. All right. Did y'all learn anything?
Like I said, I'm an avid watcher.
Hey,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
if we look at the statistics, when in black marriages between black men and black women, black men are the sole or primary breadwinner 40% of the time. So that would, lead to the point that yes, black men are still out earning. And also another point, when it is an egalitarian relationship, the man still earns $2,000 more than the woman. So it's rather common amongst all races. So that was the whole point of trying to get. So I know, yes, the ideal goal, like GMT said, my wife is a stay-at-home, wife now, you work towards that. But we're talking about 35 to 44. And that's where the point of contention comes in, because these women are already settled. They're established, right? They should have their careers and everything. But then when you try and get married to a man in that same age group, let's say, and then you tell him, now I want to stay at home. It's tough, right? Yes. So that's the biggest issue with these, conversations. It's like, I've been working all this time, but now I've heard women say this. I want a man to retire me right now. Yeah. So
they all of a sudden get traditional, right?
Yeah. It's
Right.
like,
It's
now
just
would it
not
be?
realistic.
Yeah, you're not a virgin. You come with kids. Like, you're not traditional. What are we doing here? And then 1 of 4 y'all gonna get married. It's 1.5 million more of y'all. So listen, if you don't want this, sit at home with your cat or your dog or your 3 kids, and I'll keep it pushing. Find somebody else.
And I leave it open. And real quick, another point. When you Google this, I know Jess, you like to Google. When you Google let's say black women earn more, all these articles come out and they'll say black women are doing so much better and they're more likely to be breadwinners. But then when you read it, it's 1 out of 4. And, it's like, well, because that's misleading to a lot of women. They'll see the title and they'll say, oh yeah, we're doing better than black men, we're the breadwinners. But then when you read the article, it's still 3 out of 4 black men out earning black women in marriages. So that's where the cleanup has to be, right? So Chill, you got it.
I was going to say, you know, a lot of these articles that they put out, they do it on purpose. It's extremely misleading because they do know that, and not just our women, but women in general, they react based on feelings. And reading that title, oh, we are dominating. Oh, we're in lead. Ooh, all those endorphins just flooding. And it's only until you read the actual article that you see, nah, baby, you ain't leading nothing. Especially as
wait, real quick, Mona has to get up out of here, guys. We can continue the conversation, but I want to give her the floor so she can do her shout out. I greatly appreciate your presence. Please do whatever you want with these clips. You know what I'm saying? Do what you need to do. I appreciate again, all your contributions to my page are greatly appreciated. I'm going to give you the floor. Here you go.
All right. Well, thank you guys for having me today. I enjoyed the conversation. Some of you all may know me as being a mod for Medium Man, but I also have my own channel, which is my name here on the screen at Mona D here on YouTube. So you guys can check me out over there. I talk a lot about trending topics as they pertain to marriage, family, relationships, and all of the types of things that's going on in the world. I give my perspective, breakdown. I also give some solutions over there, in particular when it comes to women, especially Black women. All right. So if you are interested in those type of topics, want to learn more, check me out over on YouTube at my channel here. I would love to have you. See you in the comments section. And I thank you guys for tuning in, and enjoy the rest of the show, guys.
Thank you, Mona. Appreciate it. Yeah.
You're welcome. Have a good night.
Have a good night.
Thank you. Peace, y'all.
Peace, Mona.
Peace and pan fried chicken.
Pan fried chicken. Anybody want to add 50-50? We want to keep.
Yeah, I do. I agree with what Chilla's saying 100%. And I think 50-50 is a subjective thing. Like, you look at it like, you know, people say 50-50, but what do women really say when they say that? Like, if I pay the mortgage, you're working, you're going to pay the electric bill, you're going to probably pay the gas bill, go food shopping, you're going to do something. So there has to be a contribution in today's market. And most, like we all know, most men cannot afford to fit the bill for a whole family, as you were saying. So I think this conversation is not to make women feel as, oh, okay, you guys are not doing anything, we're still doing better than you. It's more about saying, hey, let's get realistic and come together. You know what I'm saying? That's where we need to be at. If we can stop talking about what you make, what I make, and say, okay, what you make can add to what I make, and we put it together, let's build something. But it's hard.
No, you're right. That's the whole purpose of this live stream, just to put things into perspective. And also, I think you guys understand now why I said that most men care about a woman's income, right? So we said this earlier, and now that you look at the statistics, that's why I say that's a flawed, talking point in these spaces, because the majority of men, they need their woman's income unless they're going to live under what he makes, and that may be at a lower level. But most people, I mean, hey, would you rather? And that's a good question that maybe I'm not equipped to ask. You probably need a panel of women a large amount of women. So the ladies, you may want to take this. If a woman would rather live under a man's salary, let's say, like on the statistics, it said when the man is the sole breadwinner, sole provider, he makes $70,000 a year. So would women rather live under $70,000 and be a stay-at-home mom, or would she rather work and increase the income in the household and live let's say a better lifestyle? What y'all think about that, ladies? Jess?
And that's why I said it's subjective. That's why I said it's subjective, because yes, most women may want to stay home, but then also if they have children, they may want to stay home. That, of course. But there are some who like to stay active, do a little thing, and if the children are grown and everything, they may want to occupy their time doing something, but making sure that it's something that contributes to the family. There are women like that. So,
MRT?
Can you run back the question again?
So do you think women would rather live under a $70,000 household as opposed to combining incomes and living under, let's say, $120,000 household when she works?
That'll be a better life.
I don't think I'm understanding it correctly. So
I'm trying to frame this the best way possible. So she would have to be in a 50-50 marriage where she works, but the household would have more money. You would have $120,000 between both of you guys, but she could be a stay-at-home wife and live under $70,000 of what he makes, and she doesn't have to work. So what's more appealing to women if you had to guess majority or minority?
I mean, I think the majority would probably, just because they won't have to do much, they would probably pick to where like they're a stay-at-home mom, just so they don't have to. Yeah, just so they don't have to contribute as much. I mean, because even me, like when you put it that way, it does make more sense. Like if you guys want to have more just opportunity to do different things within your marriage, for you to combine your incomes, and it's a 50-50 thing. But I think majority of people would be like, no, I don't want to work at all.
Okay.
Regardless what's left, I don't want to work.
Ash, what you think?
I would hope that majority of people wouldn't want to live with the 70,000 a year income. It just sounds exhausting, like a struggle almost, because we supporting our whole family. But I also think we like really gotta think about this 50-50 thing that we keep, because when you're 50-50, in my mind it's like a roommate situation. I'm paying, if the mortgage is $2,000, I gotta pay $1,000, you gotta pay $1,000, electric bill $60, so I gotta give you $30. Like that's 50-50 to me, and I also don't think anybody in a marriage wants to live like that either.
Okay. Jill, I see you waiting, brother. What
All right. So when it comes to this situation, oh boy, buckle up y'all seatbelt, y'all. Listen, I was just gonna keep it real, man. Ladies, I respect y'all, but 70,000 to y'all, and you staying at home sounds like struggling. You know, in your mind, that's what it's gonna be. And I already know what ladies gonna say. They're gonna say, "I'd rather work. I'm gonna work to help you," but fellas, keep in mind, you know, a lot of women work to earn money, so that could be her veto power. Her veto power is her to circumvent the rules that you make. And once she have enough, or once she find a suitable guy, Katie bar the door. It's off to the races. That 70,000 ain't, you know what I'm saying? Fellas, you know how it is. We know. We know. Yeah. So, yeah, I don't see too many women saying, yeah, I'll do the stay-at-home thing for 70,000. What state you living in? Arkansas? 70,000 ain't even doing much over there.
Right.
And then you're talking about kids. Kids now cost roughly from birth all the way to 18 years old, $300,000. Yeah, so that hypergamy definitely done kicked in by then, and that back door is open.
Not the back door.
Just saying.
Professor?
It's crazy to me that someone would pick $70,000 over 120. And the reason I say that, because those women that stay at home, you know, what's the biggest reason women get divorced? Is dissatisfaction. Now the guy has to go out and work more, so now he's not home. Now you don't help with the kids. We don't ever go on trips. You're never here, so now she's dissatisfied. Now she's outside in the truck with some random dude with a leash on. And you got to come out here and catch her. Lord. So I'm saying that it happens. You know, that's why they had a show called Desperate Housewives, because those women are sitting at home being desperate. So at the end of the day, if a woman's working and you're working, it's your income. We make more together than we do apart. How much better would our lifestyle be if we both work? Now we can take those more trips, or I might have to work more and you're gonna be dissatisfied. So either way it goes, a woman's gonna be unhappy. So I'd rather my woman, she makes 60, I make 62. We had $122,000 a year. I told you the median household income in Charlotte is $70,000. We got an extra 50 grand to play with. 50 grand to play with. Then we can go do other things with. Now I can put that 50 grand into something else. We can go take a trip. And like you said, kids are expensive. My daughter cost me over $200,000, and that was just child support from 0 to 18. So that wasn't even taking care of my own household. It was $200 and some $1,000 in just child support. So kids are expensive. Now you talk about 1, 2, 3 kids in a household of $70,000. That sounds like poverty to me. That sounds like the struggle bus. It ain't about that life. So get off your butt and go to work. I don't care if you got OnlyFans. If you're in the streets, you're gonna do something. You ain't sitting in my house not working. If a woman don't work, she don't eat.
See, I think it's a great conversation. This is good. Yeah, no. End it off, Chill. You got it.
All right. Now that there is a caution though, fellas, there's a huge caution. You know, I get it. We want that woman to work. We want her to pay homage to what we're doing. But you know, if you got 70,000 and she out there putting in about 12 hours, just like you putting in 12 hours, oh buddy, there is a problem. Because guess what? Ain't no goddamn, oh, let me not curse, ain't no goddamn way in HE hockey sticks, you know what I'm saying? That she could be solved. She can't. Her in the workforce throwing elbows, being competitive, trying to bring home the bacon to put towards your bacon is going to make her harder. Now you got a problem to deal with.
It's a tough dynamic, and that's why this conversation need to be had. This is very tough. More money, but she may be a little bit hard, brother. So
yeah, you might come home from your shift one day and be like, "Hey, baby, can you make me a sandwich? Get it, make it yourself."
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. I just put in 12 hours just like you. So,
and this is when you talk through trauma, though. You be talking through trauma with the kind of people that I'm just saying. Because honestly, depending on the character of the person, that's not how it goes.
Really?
Okay, you want to say really?
Yeah, I do.
There are people out there, but of course, probably the people that you surround yourself with, keeps you in your trauma-minded self. But it's like, you got to think about, that's not everybody, especially somebody that you marry. You're looking at the character of the person and all that stuff beforehand.
Yeah. All right. I hear you. I definitely hear you. But we have real life examples that we can all reach out and touch. This hypergamy thing, power dynamics, this has always been the thing. It has always. Look, check this out, man. Fellas, when you're dating, you're courting, whatever, peep the social media of the woman that you're courting. If her social media don't look like nothing of the life that you're providing her, buddy, you already know what's going to go down, man. You better check that parking lot. She might be out there messing with the driver on right now. You hear me? This stuff is real. And then, for the ladies who say we all aren't like that, you stop it. You all got that ticking time bomb in you. And if you get with a dude who does not meet those standards that you have,
so then with your logic, all men are dusties then, because you're going to be saying across the board. You can't say across the board stuff.
No, all men aren't.
That's trauma talking, because you're looking at every woman as a negative. Then that's already trauma. Just like how we can't look at all men as a negative.
Okay, I hear you. We're not looking at all women as a negative. Women are beautiful.
The way you're talking, yes.
Okay, I hear you. Calm down. Just let me finish. Let me finish. Listen, women aren't a negative. We get it. All I'm simply telling dudes, the men, the young men, the older men, all my brothers, learn how to deal with them from a position of power. If you don't, you know what's going to happen. You need to have leverage on your side.
But Jill, I want to interject on that, because I think like I understand what you say about power dynamics and relationships. Some of that can be true, but I do think you have to look at the person that you're dating, because regardless if it's power dynamics or not, everybody has a limit. Everybody has a line that you don't need to cross. For men, I would say it's weight. So, I'm pretty sure you might start looking elsewhere, or your eyes and mind start wandering, looking at another woman because she's overweight. It's a woman that you've been with for 15 years, 10 years, 5 years, or whatever. So I don't like how it's like, oh, well, if you don't have leverage, it's a guaranteed women are going to do this because of which I say hypergamy, because of hypergamy. So, I mean, I think it really just gets boiled down to your requirements and what you're willing to deal with on a whole scale. Some men aren't there's a limit for a man on how much lip he's gonna take from a woman, period. Forget power dynamics, forget if he's broke. It's only but so much lip he's gonna actually take before he either treats you like you were nobody, or just move on to the next, or put you in rotation. So it's just limits, really. It's all about what you're willing to deal with, and how long are you gonna let that person, how much time are you gonna give that person to come correct? Because I mean, it's something I've done in my relationships. He wasn't the top of the line guy and didn't have all this money, but I let him prove himself. This is what the time you got. This is what you say you want to do. Okay, you don't do what you say. Now I'm gonna go.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just about what you want to deal with or not.
I'll let you.
If you want to deal with that.
Before I read the super chats, go ahead.
All right. I appreciate. Look, Media Man is brilliant. He got me out of the cage. He knew how to get me out of the cage, and I'm out the cage, y'all. I am out.
Please keep your chain on. That's keeping you at the dog. Keep the dog out.
I'm chilling.
Not the chill monster.
Oh my goodness! Look, I hear you. I definitely hear you, MRT. I really do. But the numbers don't lie. They don't, do they? Look at the divorce rate. Look at the relationships. If I'm talking about just dating, women rank high in that too. They the one who initiate that. And what are the reasons? We all know. If we ain't checking those boxes, if we ain't holding no leverage, if men aren't exercising power dynamics, then 9 times out of 10 we lose. That's usually how it is. But you can keep saying that it's like the Powerpuff Girls. Women are all sugar and spice and everything nice. No, you have to handle leverage.
See what you missed was you kind of actually just said it.
What is
you said it? You kind of just said it. It's still all about what you're willing to accept. It's all about your limits. Because you're saying as long as they don't have that leverage, then they're gonna go. I'm pretty sure she's gonna give you that time. And if you do not succeed in that time, or you don't have a major turnaround, the man or the woman is gonna leave. It's just about your requirements. If your spouse is falling below a certain point of what you want her to be, I'm pretty sure you're gonna have that conversation. And once she stopped,
chill.
Yeah.
Yes.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, Miranda, MRT. Sorry, finish your point. I do want Media Man because I know he wants to get onto the.
Oh yeah,
it's just limits.
I know. This is what we could do on the panel all day long.
That's it.
I can see that was a point of contention. So I wanted to let y'all cook and get it out or whatever. And I was gonna ask another question, but this is a good conversation. I think this needs to be studied. So yeah. So we do have some super chat. I know they like, man, I put it in here. Dante Bryant, $5 super chat said, if the man has it, he should be able to pay the whole way. But black folks are at the bottom, so we need to be putting our money together to build. Okay. I'm not even going to attempt to say that name. I'll just say K2099 with the $5 super chat. Thank you, brother. Said Dante Bryant, we're at the bottom because we're not together. It's not a coincidence that the highest earning demographics are the most married. That's true. Tristan Smith, 1999 super chat said F50-50. I want 100-100. In a marriage scenario, 100% of both incomes need to go towards improving the household, whether it's stocks, investments, paying off debt, etc., while I'm taking care of the home. Shaking my head. And IQS holding it down in the chat for you, boy. Thank you, brother. $5 super chat said, Ash, you say a man should pay 100% of everything when dating you. What does he get in return? Is that what you meant, Ash, by dating?
No. So, like, if a man is interested in me and he wants to take me out and get to know me, then yes, in the beginning, he needs to be paying for the dates, right? And if I like okay, I like this person, like through getting to know him, I don't mind contributing. Like if I think someone said it earlier, I want to say it was MRT. If I say, like, if I initiate a date, I don't mind paying. But most of the time the guy's gonna be like, nah, I got it anyway. But like I don't like the expectation for me, if you ask me out, then yes, you gonna pay. Because why did you ask me out?
Right.
Like, it don't make sense. To me, like my mind don't make sense. But after we get like further along and I like him, like once we're not, like if we become exclusively dating or in a relationship, then yeah, I don't mind contributing to a date. Like if I want to go do something, for sure, yeah, let's go do it.
You know what's funny? I seen the reverse from a discussion that was had on the Breakfast Club by Fancy from Jamie Foxx, Garcelle Bouveau, whatever last name is. Mm-hmm. She said that she went after a guy and asked him out on the date, and she got mad that he didn't pay. That's crazy. They were like, well, you asked him out.
Yeah. Right.
And she's like, what? But yeah, so that's funny. So both ways. She's like, yeah, if a man, if he asks me out on a date, he should pay. If I ask him out on a date, he should pay. It's
he wasn't trying to pursue you, so why would he? Like, why invest in something you don't want?
Why am I paying? Why am I paying for something that I'm not gonna get a return on?
What do you mean?
Because like I've said before, and I'll say it again, every date I take a woman on is an investment in the bank of cheek clapping, and at some point I'm gonna want to withdraw. So why am I gonna keep paying for something that I'm not getting a return on? I'm not getting a return on this investment.
Okay, but
So-
what are you going out for? Are you taking her out exclusively so you can get the cheeks and it could be a cheek
Yes.
thing? Or is this
Yes.
gonna be okay?
Yes.
Oh, but see,
and then after I'll see who she really is. It's called post nut clarity. I'll see who she is after that. But
yeah.
I don't see you for who you are. Listen,
Does she know this before the date?
Oh, good.
it don't matter. If she listens to this podcast, she is. But listen, here's the thing though. If I'm taking you out, and I think Ash said it, she's like, well, as we go out more, I may get to like you. So that mean you don't like me from Jump Street?
No.
That's New York Times put an article in the newspaper talking about how women go on dates for free food. Listen, I am not your sponsor. I only sponsored a kid in Africa one time. So what I'm saying to you is, if I'm not getting a return on my investment, then it's gonna be 50-50. Or if we going to Red Lobster, you're gonna pay half yours, I pay half mine. But yeah, nope.
But I think women though. I don't know. But I think if a woman is going out for free meals, which I think is that is stupid.
Sad.
Yeah, and no,
You
it
do
is sad. That's the word I'm looking for. It's sad. If they're going out on free meals, it's probably because they already know that you're investing for the cheek clapping.
Nah.
if they know, hey, look, he's probably taking me out, or he is taking me out because he wants the cheeks. I'm gonna go get this free meal and I'm gonna ghost him after, or see how many more free meals I can get before he finds out I'm not giving him nothing.
And that's why dudes are never killing.
That goes to the point of why men had to put a cap on how many times they take a woman out before they get what they're they've invested all this time. So that's why you hear the conversation about cutting it off at the 3-date minimum.
But
that does make sense, because there are women out there, according to that New York study, it was about, I think they said 34 to 44% of women go on dates just because of the free food. So men have to take that into consideration when they take women out on dates, and put a cap on how many times they're going to take a woman out before they stop getting the ass out hug. You know what I'm saying? And they got to figure it out. Hey,
But wouldn't that go on the man's part as far as vetting her out before he actually spends the money to do that? Because I personally, not saying you can look at someone and tell, but a couple of conversations, especially just getting to know like their mindset, you can kind of tell if this is someone that you want to be interested in the long run to, take care of and to pay bills for them. But I would say that's on the man's part for not vetting her correctly, because to me, those women stand out. You can see them. They are not hiding, and they are not ashamed about using a man for free, whatever. They are not ashamed.
We had this conversation before. We had this conversation about the vetting process or whatever, and I was trying to educate men on how to get to know a woman prior to the date. You can't meet a woman on Friday, talk to her on Saturday, schedule a date for next Friday, and y'all never talk in between.
Right.
And then when you get to the date, it's like you're dating a stranger.
Exactly.
And that's what a lot of guys are doing. They'll meet the girl, secure the date, set the time for a week later, and then they'll give vanilla, text responses. Good morning, beautiful. How you doing? How was your day? Okay. And then you go, and then Friday comes, and you're going on a date with a strange woman. So now she's not comfortable with you. She don't know nothing about you. So now she's going to be like, well, I don't know this guy, so I may as well get something free. And that's where the backup plan or the contingency plan of the 3-date rule comes into play. So you should be trying to get to meet that or know that woman prior to the date, to where when you first see her, you're getting a hug and embrace, like, oh man, I was looking forward to this or whatever. It's a whole process that I think there is a huge disconnect in these spaces that a lot of men don't feel when they give men relationship and or dating advice, right? Get the number, set the date, and then go talk to her. No, that's not how it works. But let me get to these.
As you heard, a lot of them, the drive is for the cheek clapping. It's not really to get to know the person. And I'm just talking about how some people spoke. That's what I'm talking about. So if you're actually for something substantial, then there's a whole different approach to it. And that's what I'm talking about. I'm not entertaining the ones that just want to do the cheek clapping, just wasting people time, getting free meals. I'm not talking about those. And that's why I said, when I talk about talking through toxicity, that's what I'm talking about.
Right.
As in to say, like, it's where your mindset is what you're disciplined for, how you move, and what you expect out of life.
Mhm.
But,
if
but I,
you-
I want to clear something up real quick. That's every man, ladies, and I'm gonna be
Right.
perfectly
No,
honest with
understood.
you. No,
Understood,
I'm
but the-
talking about because you're saying they want more. Every man wants more, but they also want cheeks. From
Mhm.
Stephen Urkel to Stefan Urkel, it don't matter. A man don't invest in a woman if he's not trying to have sex with her. So
True.
that's going
But
to
I
be
mean,
a
it's the
giving,
way
and,
you
and
go
instead
about
of trying to separate, well, the men that's there for something else and the men that's there for cheeks are two different guys. They're not. They're all the same. And that's what I try and get women to understand. They just go about it in different ways. Yes, we will meet. We're not whoremonger trying to sneak in at every chance that we get. But I guarantee you, if a woman offered that nerd some cheeks, he would take it.
But
And
I
it is
don't.
what it is.
But-
I'm not talking specifically about
Mhm.
that. I'm talking about those who, because you remember you hold the gateway for a relationship. So that's what I'm talking about. As in to say, if that's where your mind is, some is not. Especially we have one here. They're not right now. So then don't waste your time doing that.
So yeah,
You
and
get
so
what
yeah,
I'm saying?
because we're not saying that we're not saying that he's not going to want to have sex with you. Obviously, off gate, he wants to have sex with you. If you give him the opportunity, he's going to take it. But it's more so of, yeah, this girl's attractive and I would have sex with her if I could have the opportunity, but I'm looking for a wife. Can this woman meet my needs? How can she run a household? Who is she really on the inside to her core? What does she have to offer? What can she value, or what type of value can she bring to a relationship of us coming together? So that's the differences that we're talking about, is a man that's actually going out and dating with intentions of the long run. Of course he wants sex. We're not denying that at all.
Yeah,
Right.
I'm
That's the
gonna
whole
actually
thing.
be
Sex appeal
fully
is a whole thing.
transparent.
Like-
Go ahead, Jess. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying, I was agreeing with her, as in to say sex appeal is the whole thing.
Yeah.
We're not denying that. We're talking about how a lot of men are not purpose driven with when it comes to dating, and some are. So that's who I'm talking to. It's just not about differentiating who I'm talking to, which makes the sense.
So typically, and I'm gonna be, like I said, I'm gonna be very transparent. I've never dated marriage minded prior to meeting my wife.
Thank you.
I was never a guy that went on the dating market and was like, I'm looking for my wife. Never. Most men don't do that. The men that do that, women don't like, because
Thank
they're in
you.
the church typically, right? So I've never been a guy that specifically went on a date and said that I'm looking for my wife. And I also didn't say I'm just looking for somebody to have sex with.
My brother does that.
But I said, but a lot of guys don't do that. They don't set in their mind that I'm looking for my wife on this date. Of course, they want to meet the woman, and if she changes his mind in regards to way he thinks and he feels that this is a woman that I need to keep, then he'll start vetting her a little bit differently. But like I said, and I've done some light studies on my page about this and asked a question to the guys and got over like 1,000 responses on the votes, and about 80% said I've never specifically said I'm dating marriage minded. And also, I hear women say that they never dated as marriage minded as well. That's very rare. So I think people are just going for the experience, and then if somebody can change their mind, cool. But that one thing on my end, never dated as a marriage minded. And two, there was a time where I was not ready to be somebody's husband. And I was very honest about that. And I told the women, I'm not looking for anything serious. And that's where the truth comes in. So yes, I can admit that if I'm on my purpose and I have to get some degrees, I'm deploying, I'm not ready to be nobody's husband. So I got to be honest if I still want female attention and female company. And that's where that comes into play. And you let women make the decision on what they want to do, if they want to stay or go. Granted, if you ask 10 women or you tell 10 women about this situation, 7 of them will say, no, I'm cool. I'm looking for a husband or something like that. It is what it is. But the 3, they looking for the same thing that you looking for. They just want some company from time to time. And I was happy to oblige. So yeah, so it's and I know that word about being marriage minded gets thrown around in these spaces all the time. And I hear it consistently, but it's very rare, in my opinion, that both men and women go to the dating market and say, I'm looking for a husband, until they get a little bit older. And it's like, oh, now I want to be settled down or whatever. Go ahead, Jessica. I'm sorry.
Well, with that, I never heard much of those saying it straight out either. That's not what I'm saying. It's more so about how you're moving. So like worrying about the connection, and if you're feeling this person, and you know you see a lot of things in that person that you admire and that you're really into, and that works for you in your life and whatnot. But I feel like the dating realm has become so much of just kind of doing things
going with the vibe,
than actually, you know.
No, yeah, I agree.
Going with the vibe, yeah.
So
I think
GMT. I'm sorry, I was muted. I'm sorry about that. I'm like, yo, I'm like wondering why nobody can hear me. But my whole thing is like, yo, fellas, start spending less money on these dates. This way you don't feel as if you are playing some high investment to go out on dates with women. If she really wanted to get to know you, you do not have to take her to Steak 48.
Right. True.
You know what I'm saying? You could invest a lot lower to really get to see who she is.
Yes.
And if she don't like it, kick rocks. Another woman will.
We're gonna stay here. We're gonna stay here for a little bit because I'm glad you mentioned not paying a lot for dates. I put this clip in here just for research purposes, and it actually helps the conversation. Here we go. Hold on, I got you, Chell. One second. Here we go.
Over what? $200 on a date?
Nah, wrong number. I would never spend over $100 on the first date.
Oh, so what's the rationale about the not over $100?
I don't know you.
But that makes sense.
Yeah, I agree.
Describe a first date.
Man, I mean, the last time I went out on a date, whoo, Jesus.
That's why. Probably because you don't spend over $100. I'm sorry. It creeped out.
No. I mean, I'm just strategic, brother. You know what I'm saying? I'm a grown man. I don't need to impress you at a nice dinner. Ooh. You know what I'm saying? So for me, I'm going to listen to you while we're talking, while we're on the phone, while we're having a conversation. I take a whole notepad of what you like, favorite flowers, favorite color. And what I'll do is, because let me be real with you, men on this stage, it's easy for me to drop $200 on dinner.
Yeah.
It's hard for me to be intentional.
Ooh.
And so I'm going to move with
an
intention.
king.
And let's say you like flowers. Well, I'm going to take you to a little flower bed. We're going to turn around and pick your own flowers. That cost me $10.
I like it. Randy is unimpressed. I like it. Unimpressed.
Okay, real quick. So the reason why that was Anthony O'Neal, right? I think it is Anthony O'Neal. Yeah. So the reason why he can say that and the women accepted it is because they know that Anthony is a millionaire. So he can say, I'm not spending $100 on a date, and all the women on the panel are gonna be like, yeah, I agree with that. Haha. But a man that they don't know, they rarely accept that. From what I gather from the guys in the chat in these conversations, women want men to break the bank, so to speak, on a date. Like grown, GMT was saying, like, hey man, don't spend a lot of money. But it was just very funny that every woman agreed. Even the woman that I see always yelling, the Keita Rose girl, she agreed with him. And I'm like, that's kind of wild, because if a man says that he's not spending over $100 and they don't know him, then that would be a red flag. Like the last woman at the end of the video, she was like, I'm not impressed. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to hear what she had to say. But GMT, did you want to expound on that?
No, that's exactly how I feel. I mean, there's no point. I get it. Women are going to agree with men with money. So definitely agreeing with him is one thing. But I don't think men should even really care what women agree with when it comes to that. You're the one who holds the access to relationships. So if she really wanted to get to know you, she'll be okay with you spending less money on a date. Now, when the relationship gets serious, the experience is going to matter for the woman. Then yeah, you could go to Ruth Chris. You could take it to the nice places. But at first, what are y'all doing spending $200-300 on a date? That's not a proper investment, because the likelihood is you're just dating her. She's probably dating other people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I'm gonna go to Chill in a second. Anthony, he has a funny story about 4 years ago that he shared. He took, he was about to trying to take a woman out on a date. She knew who he was, and when he suggested like a particular, cheaper restaurant, she got mad at him because he didn't want to spend a lot of money on her. So she took the social media and aired him out, and he actually responded under her comments like, you damn right, I said that I wouldn't spend this amount of money on you, Just because you think I got it, you think I'm supposed to, trick off or something like that. But it was very funny. But chill, go ahead. My bad, brother.
No, you good, brother. You good. What I was gonna say, I'm speaking to the fellas. Fellas, look, I think a lot of men, who are spending that type of money on dates, these are men who don't know how to vet properly. You need to take this woman to a coffee shop first, man, so you can talk.
Yeah.
Go get a coffee or something, get a water, a spritzer or something. No appetizer, no nothing. All right, and you need to talk. You need to sit there and ask so many open-ended questions so you can get to know this individual. You need to ask her where's she from? Did she move around a lot? You know what I'm saying? What's your favorite sport team? You need to know these things because sports is. Look, fellas, like I said, man, you got to do the rundown. You got to check her paperwork before you start spending money on her, man. Damn.
You're right, Chill.
You have to.
Yep.
Hey, wait, hold on. This.
All right, can I say something?
Oh yeah, I'm sorry, Ash. Let me read this one real quick. Air Force Rig $5 super chat said, "I'm so chill," and MRT's comments about Passport Bros have the chat a little irritated. What comments?
Well, I know what comment. It was in the back of my head, and I saw that question a long time ago.
Me too.
A while ago, and I remembered it. So I'm not talking bad. I wasn't speaking negatively about, Passport Bros. But what I do know, because there's a couple of Passport Bros that I know. You know what I'm saying? I mean, dudes who make decent money, but I got to be honest, they're squares. And then they went to another country as squares with money, and then they got the tables right.
When did y'all have this conversation?
He had mentioned it earlier about something somebody said, and he was saying that the Passport Bros are figuring this out as well. It was something just we had skimmed over it, and I said I'm glad that they are chill, and so they must be
right.
They must
Now, in conjunction with that, there are some Passport Bros who have, they got married. There's quite a few brothers who got married, but we can't sit up there and call it a success yet because that marriage has to stand the test of times, and we all know the divorce rates is pretty high. No matter what, I mean, come on, man. If you got divorced over here and you didn't learn your lesson, you're gonna go over there and snag a wife, and things tend to happen over and over. But that's all I'm saying. All right.
I know. All right. Hopefully that clarified for Air Force Rig. Ash, my bad. It's on you.
Yeah. So about these expensive first dates, I think men have to do some self-reflection and think about the person that they're dealing with. Because if a woman's requiring you to spend an arm and a leg, it's a big chance that she don't really like you. Like she's just literally there to eat a good meal or whatever, right? But the guy needs a woman, at least, and I can't speak for every woman, but for me specifically, I can't entertain someone I don't like. I will leave a date halfway through if I'm not feeling somebody because I'm not gonna waste my time. I'll be polite about it, but when someone don't like you.
Right.
So a lot of time I understand guys be complaining, but some of that is on y'all. It's y'all's fault for even being with that girl. She don't like you. She don't text you back. She not talking to you. She just showed up for the date, and she even being drawn a date. She's not into you. A lot of time men use their pockets to get the cheeks.
I was just about to go ahead, Ash. I was just about to, and that's what you get. That's honestly what you get. Yeah. Because you was leading with that second head down there, and it did not go over as planned.
Yeah, and I think this is why these spaces are important, so we can kind of stop men from going down that path, or actually vetting these women in a proper way. And real quick, guys, they the way that I explain how I used to date, I'm very good at the in between time from when I meet to when we have the date. Talking until we get to the date, knowing, getting to know you, that was where I shined. So when it was time for us to pick a, actual restaurant, I would let her pick. Cause I don't, what I'm saying? Cause I knew that she wasn't trying to get over on me and she liked me and she's going to be mindful of how much she going to spend on that dang date. And she going to look and be like, oh, I always wanted to go here. And I look at the price and it's rather reasonable because you're not trying to get over me. And it always worked for me, but that's counterintuitive to what a lot of men are taught. They say, hey, you supposed to be the man, you pick the date because she gonna try and spend, pick something crazy. But that was kind of my test to see if she was trying to use me or not. Pick the date and see what it is. I never had any issues on that. So Jess, it's on you. Sorry.
Okay, so real quick, and that's what I wanted to kind of go back to, because you said that earlier, as in that in between time. That's actually where it shows the interest and everything before you even go on a date, and that is a very important time. So I like that you actually suggested that. I also liked in the video where the guy said, and I didn't even know about he had money and all that stuff. I didn't know all of that. So, but what I liked was with the conversation, he found out that she liked flowers, and he took her to a flower shop. Those are the kind of things that show that bonding, that listening, that, like actually quality time that, moves somewhere rather than, just going to the date, spending money and all that other stuff. I think if it's someone who is really about quality, you can tell.
Yes.
You can tell. And I feel like we have to be more aware of that, and more like just look out for that with anyone.
I want to jump in real quick. I'm sorry. I want to address the fellas in the comment because
Yeah.
What am I super chats? What's going on?
So fellas, when I say square, I'm not talking about, look, successful men are successful, but when I'm talking about square, let me dial it in. I'm talking about men who lack that dominance. You know what I'm saying? Men who tend to make a lot of compromises. You know what I'm saying? I didn't want to say simp, but because everybody hear it all the time, but it's the same thing as a square. You know what I'm saying? And women, they shit test these guys all the time. You can be successful as you want. I'm not knocking that. And I rock with passport bros. I like for men to have options just like women do. Going to different countries and experiencing and exploring. I support it. But if you a man who, you make compromises, that's a telltale sign to women, man. There's two things that they know. They know that they can get a baby from you easily, and they know they can get a ring from you easily. And it's not a good look. That is what I mean by a square. Not calling you, yeah, that's a square, Leon. Damn, that's my name too. That is a square, sir. If you are compromises and you ain't the dominant one in that relationship, man. Listen, if something happens. Let's just say you one of the dudes, man, something happened in the household or whatever. There's a hole in the roof. And then you look at your woman, even though you're the breadwoman, you look at her like, damn, baby, what we gonna do? Yeah, buddy, that thing gonna drive like a Sahara desert, man. Just like that.
Ew.
Let me get to these. I'm gonna burn through these super chats real quick. Azrael 499 super chat said, I'll be in Japan on Wednesday. I doubt my wife is in America. I travel every 2 to 3 months. I don't even see myself retiring here. America is going the way of Rome. Spondifinite with the $10 super chat said, majority of black men earn more than black women. Women can't afford to be making all these demands at this point. Winter is here. Single women keep women single. RIP 2KS. IQS $5 super chat said, like I said, it's traditional when it suits black women. Then it's modern also when it suits black women. This is why 54% of black men choose to not play the rat race. 54% of black men have never fathered a child. So Azrael again, 499 super chat said, when black people say men need to pay 100%, do we ever consider how and who is going to save for retirement? Currently, you need around 2.5 million to retire. And I think this is why we are having these conversations. We got to consider these things. So that's good input. Team Peterson, what's going on, good brother? Member for a month, Media Man deserves respect. 5834. USAF black men earned it. Thank you, brother, and thank you for the membership. Appreciate it. Tristan Smith 999 super chat said, I'll take my 145K salary and adopt 3 dogs before I let a gap filler live in my house. Tristan don't want all right. IQS $10 super chat said, Media Man, I know you did it a while ago, but can you pull the analytics for the salary average of the subs on your channel? I bet the men subscribed to you average over 80,000 a year. That's above it. Yeah, now I mentioned that before we started the live stream. Most of the guys that do recurring consults, these brothers make a lot of money. And then, of course, you can't really, gauge that based off of like subscribers and stuff like that. But based off of what I've seen, it's a lot of guys in the chat that make a good amount of money. And I'll be perfectly honest with you guys. Most of the guys that I talk to that have a lot of money, they are traveling. They're not staying in the States. And, you know, and then I know, you know, sometimes, you know, like we talk about the passport bro movement. Yes, you have your bad apples in there all the time. But I would say out of it's got to be about 80 to 100 dudes that I've interviewed. The high earning ones, their plan is to go overseas now. They're not staying. And I noticed that I'm gonna have to put some analytics together and look at my notes, but it's very high. Most of the conversations lead towards talking about my experiences from traveling to 50 countries. They ask me, how was it here? How was it there? Because I'm thinking about moving here when I, you know, get everything in order. So that's very interesting from what I seen a shift, you know, with this conversation. I think a lot more Black men are trying to move overseas. So high earning Black men at that. So let's see here. Supreme Clientele, $10 super chat said, how is it that Black women as a whole not realize that you are making demands from a position of weakness? You forfeited your leverage when you chose to be out from the covering of your father. Okay. Anybody want to? Well, let me get to the super chats. That's good. Yeah, that can go a long way. Leon 008, $10 super chat said, I am married. My wife pays half the mortgage and she pays the water bill and her car note. I pay everything else. We had a tornado a few months back and my deductible was $2.5K, $2,500. She gave $1,000 towards it. Okay. Leon 008, $10 super chat again. He says, ladies, you will pay bill or be willing to living based off his income solely. Get over it. What you need, he pays for. What you want, you will pay out of your income. Lower the standard of living or pay. Okay. Tristan Smith again, 99 super chat. Damn, not even an appetizer. Oh, he's talking about, I guess, Anthony. And then Tristan Smith, 499 super chat said, yeah, these men get finessed and have no one to blame but themselves. Yeah, and I think it's been a lot going on in this Passport Bro community from what I've been listening to offline. I don't know, Professor, if you seen any of this, you know, information or what they're going through. I think they're feuding amongst one another right now. For some,
I have not seen it, no, but I'm
sure it's a lot going on, man. You know, because from time to time, I like to peek my head and to see if what's the young Austin Hollerman, see if he's good. You know, because he's a young dude. You know, and you know, I don't really watch much of his content, but maybe once out of the month I'll go over there and see if he's good, just to make sure, you know, he's not in no more trouble. Kind of. I don't know him, never talked to him, but I just thought, like, man, let me see if his brother good. So I listened to a couple of his live streams, and it seems like they're having some issues amongst each other, and they got to work them out. So it's not my place to talk about it, but yeah, I noticed that. So, and I know the chat, they could probably, you know, speak to that. They probably know what the hell is going on. But yeah, it's very tough. But yeah, that Passport Bro thing is very popular.
Contagious.
I know we got. I mean, we got so much more to go. I'm definitely not gonna keep y'all longer than this, but we're gonna do the next one. What's one of you ladies put in the solidified career? I know somebody asked for that. Should Black men expect Black women to have a solidified career? That was on somebody's list. Who put that in there? Y'all remember?
Who put that?
Somebody did. I don't know. But yeah, so let's listen to that one, the career one, real quick. Here we go. Should Black men expect Black women to have a solidified career? In June 2023, Black women's labor force participation had rebounded to 62.9%, among the highest of any group of women, compared to 59% in April 2020, according to the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics. Also, and according to the U.S. Census Bureau 2021 American Community Survey, out of the 62.9% of Black women in the workforce, 721,000 earn $100,000 or more, as opposed to Black men, 926,000. And that is for full-time workers ages 16 and older. Let me see. All right, my bad. MRT, I'm gonna let you go ahead and give your sign off. So you have to go. Yeah, like I said, I'm gonna let y'all get out of here. We've been going a little bit over 3 hours. We have so much more to get to. And like I said, this was gonna be, I mean, it's very extensive. But I think we gained a lot of traction based off of all the things that's on the list. I'm gonna stop it right here, and maybe we can come back. We'll see.
Yeah, do like a part 2.
Yeah, we can do a part 2 because
a remix.
Man, because I already got everything, researched out. The videos are made.
Mm-hmm.
So whenever me and GMT will talk offline and and work something out. Definitely do that. So, but MRT, go ahead and do your sign off. So I'm gonna let everybody get out of here in a second.
Yes, this was definitely a pleasure. I learned a lot. Thank you guys for having me again today, Media Man. Shout out to Grown Men Talking and the whole panel that's here today. I can't wait to cut up these little clips. Y'all know how I be posting my little clips, and y'all will be tagged. And I can't wait till we do another one. So thank you guys for having me, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel, guys. I will be doing a series on manipulation, so chill. You can be ready.
you know all about it anyway.
Exactly. Oh my gosh. So
we can go around, but thank you. Did you want to share where they can find you?
Yes. So just I guess more real talk. If you type it in all together, I should just pop up. The same is for my Instagram as well. It's more real talk. And yeah.
Thank you. And then we'll go to Professor. So you can give your sign off, brother. Make sure you put everything in there so they know where to find you.
Yes.
Yes. Again, I want to thank you for having us on. I always got to give a special shout out to GMT because he's the reason I'm here, and I appreciate him for giving me that opportunity because I've been waiting, and he actually gave me that opportunity. So I appreciate him for that. In addition to that, we need to keep doing this, man. Let it be like the Fast and Furious series. We just keep going. But you can find me at Instagram. You see it on the screen, _distinguished_professor. I also have content on my YouTube channel. We got about 4 weeks of content where I talk about relationships, react to relationship videos, as well as our political scene right now that we have going on. I'm very much into the political scene. I do my research. I also make sure I provide trusted sources. So people who question can look at the stuff that I have, and I'll have the sources there when I show it. But again, I do appreciate the opportunity to be here, and I appreciate everyone on the panel that was here as well. So I'll see you guys tomorrow for the most part.
Yeah, thank you again, man. Like I said, we all got families and business obligations, so I'm definitely not gonna keep y'all, but I'm gonna keep everything up here, and then we'll work something out in the future. It's gonna be good because just real quick before I get to ask, ladies, you guys sent in so much. We have so many different topics. Should black men be expected to pay the bills? This one was a good one. Should black men be expected to pay for a black woman's feminine upkeep? That was a good one. The cooking skills, all this type of stuff. So we have so much more, you guys. I'm speaking to the chat. So next time we do this, be prepared for those conversations as well. So Ash, I'll let you give your sign offs. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you so much, Media Man GMT, for inviting me. Great topic. I feel like, I think we might have bridged the gap a little bit tonight. I feel like we did a lot of good work tonight. I hope there's a part 2. You guys can find me on Instagram at Ashley on Ice.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you for joining and accepting the invite.
Thank you.
Chill, my man.
Yes. Hey, I want to say thank you to everybody, including the chat. Yo, I rock with the chat. You have a very active chat. They're pretty polite, extremely successful, smart brothers in the chat, man. So I really rock with your chat. Thank you for having me. And like I said, like Professor said, man, hey, GMT, he's the reason why I'm here. I'm not really an internet type dude. I don't got no Facebook. I just now got Instagram. I'm still trying to figure out how to work the mess, man. I'm old, y'all. You know what I'm saying? But I really do like the conversations that we have, man. And I when I say the things that I say, I just want men to deal with women from a position of power. And because I've seen so many times what happens when you don't, and that's the only thing I care about. I want men to have better outcomes and dealing with things from a position of power, you tend to have better outcomes, and that's going to always be my stance when it comes to these things. So definitely, I hope to see everybody again. I hope we can do this more. I definitely hope we can have a part 2 because, man, look, y'all, I'm being tamed. Y'all should go back and check some of my old videos, man.
Oh my God.
Holy crap. I'm just trying to respect everybody, you know?
It's so much more, man. I mean, one of the topics that we definitely got to get back, into the vacation costs. That's a big topic around social media about travel. And who should pay for what. So I'm not going to go into, I have something very specific for that conversation to put things into perspective. But we'll definitely tackle it the next time. But Jess, it's on you.
All right. I just want to say thank you for having me. Thank you to the panel, the chat. Just basically, I'm about the mind side, and I love hearing the stats. You know how to break it down and make it real, and I really love that. And I really love that even if we agree to disagree on things, and even if we agree, we're able to have that conversation. I love it. So my channel, Mind Your Mind with Just Justified.
You said Mind Your Mind?
Mind Your Mind with Just Justified. With is the W, it's represented by the W.
Okay, gotcha. I wanted to make sure because I know hopefully we can get you some more subscribers so you can start going live. And eventually, everybody.
Tackle it.
Yeah.
I decided I might do a lunchtime because I'm a preschool teacher, so I'm trying to actually fit it in. So I might do some lunchtime lives on certain topics.
Yeah. This YouTube space can be very lucrative, guys. I mean, and I'm saying this seriously. You know what I'm saying? Everybody gonna eat. When I say that, it can definitely happen. So if you have anything of value to add to these conversations, please make a YouTube channel. Because I see the analytics. You know what I'm saying? I do very well. So it's definitely good. I know GMT can talk about this even further. But yeah, man, you got it, man. The floor is yours.
Man, I just really want to thank you, Media Man, for having my panel on the show. Honestly, it feels like it started to get like my normal Sunday show for a little bit there.
Yeah.
But still great conversation. Thank you everyone that's on the panel. And also thank you, chat, for being so active, for just, getting the conversation brewing. Y'all got Phil mad for a second there. I saw it. He was reading the comments. He's like, hold on, wait.
Yeah.
But that's what I really want to see, right? I really want to see people having these type of conversations and keeping it real with each other. You know what I'm saying? So what I want to do is just continue to build a family with Media Man. And just continuing to grow what we have. As I said, my channel, I have my panels, which is every Sunday. So tomorrow we have a show at 4 p.m. I have my shows every Tuesday night at 9 p.m. with the ladies. So it's just me getting yelled at by women all night long for offering the male perspective.
Not true.
But it's usually a panel. Yeah, it's true. And it's usually me offering the male perspective. And it's about 8 women. Media Man actually had to come and save me once. He had to save me. Real talk. He came on my panel and he was like, yo, y'all got to chill on my man GMT real quick. So, yes, DC, I'm from New York City. So also, we're trying to grow. So anyone that's watching me on my side right now or in the future, please go and subscribe to Media Man's channel and vice versa. Show me the love as well. If you're following Media Man, show the channel some love. Come through this way. We can just continue to have these conversations and build this family. Yeah,
and I agree with everything everyone said. And I just keep pushing. We want to make sure that everybody gets monetized and all this stuff. Get into this YouTube space and, get some of this bread. I know we got, a lot of good things to say, but the goal is to make sure you get paid for all the education and advice that you're giving. So that is definitely one of my primary goals. Somebody good. But yeah. So we're gonna definitely have to do a part 2. I'm gonna leave everything up. I'm gonna leave the preview out You know, so we'll be good to go. It's gonna be a good part
yeah.
2 and hopefully in the near future. So yeah, it'll definitely be great. So let me give some shout outs to IQS for holding it down in the chat. I popped my head in there and I seen that some people got blocked. IQS was taking care of it. I was like, man, that
I've
dude.
seen that. Yeah.
Yeah, this is
Word?
great.
Oh, yeah.
This is
Wow.
And he said, I'm gonna just get this one up. He said, GMT got Tim's on with that.
I'm on my New York stuff out here.
I did that review of that guy on the Balloon Pop show. And yeah, he was like, man, he was dressed in all New York Knicks colors. And he was like, yeah, man, this is the way New York is dressed. We got to represent. And I asked a question. I was like, is that what New Yorkers do when they go to a different state? They got to rep New York like that? So
all day. All day. It's crazy.
All
All
the
the
time.
time. All the time. Everywhere you see a New Yorker, he gonna have a Yankee hat on no matter what.
Yeah. I'm like, man,
let
some
you
of my
know.
best friends from New York, man. And they New Yorkers are very prideful. I'm gonna tell you that much. They will tell you, I'm from New York.
Not for real. They had
New York.
a jersey day at my job at the preschool. I bet I ordered my Knicks or whatever else, and I don't even care if they're a losing team.
They won last year. They good.
Yeah, oh yeah, the Knicks cold. I think yeah, I mean, we could talk sports all day, but I think the Knicks gonna be there. Yeah, they got a good shot, in my opinion. We'll see.
And Jess, if you want to go to a game, let me know. My college buddy is the assistant coach.
Oh wow.
Woo! See?
There you
Connection.
go. Madison Square Garden. You got it. So man, so let me see. You got anything else? Yo, son. They see. I shouldn't even open that door. I didn't
That
talk
New
about
York,
it.
right?
Your
Your
son.
son.
I said he
Brick.
said-
That's bad brick, son.
Oh man, that's funny. But yeah, we'll be back, you guys. But until then, God bless everybody. If you guys want to hang back in the back chat for a second, greatly appreciate it. But I'm gonna let these folks get some of this good music on our way out, and we will be back, you guys. So peace, Media Men out, and Grown Men Talking in the panel. Thank y'all. Shout out. God bless. Be safe.
This is a man's world.